not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show live on Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. Good Wednesday to you. Thank you for being here as always, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, where you never pay a penny out of pocket. Yes, the Advocates handle workman's comp. You got hurt at work? Don't trust your insurance company. Don't trust your employer. You have nothing to lose by getting an expert opinion. Do you have a case? Are you going to keep your job? Do you get back pay? All of that stuff that you don't know the answer to. The Advocates have been there. They've done that. They've won that. Chat with an injury attorney live online 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. I can't believe how many people have asked me about the dog bite story. True story. If you didn't see the show yesterday, I was in an Uber going to the airport the other day, and the Uber driver told me her daughter had been attacked by their neighbor's dog. And I said, well, hey, did you call a lawyer? Long story short, she said, no, I never even thought of that. And so many people are like, well, why would you call a lawyer for getting attacked by a dog? Because who's supposed to pay for your medical bills? It's amazing how many people are like, oh, it was a dog attack. What? It's not their fault. Yes, it is their fault. It's not your fault, which is the biggest thing. Your daughter's arm is mauled, and now she's upset and won't hang out with your family dog. Call a lawyer, man. You deserve better than that. Get what you deserve at theadvocates.com. All right. Yes, it's the day you've all been waiting for. I have not watched any of the videos that you guys submitted, and I'm not gonna. Frankly, I'm not doing that. At 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern on the show today, we will play the video submissions from last week. One of the video submissions from Oak State James, Maury Alvarez, Fat Jesus. You're going to get to see what Fat Jesus looks like, as well as TJ Beck, who I understand Jake already has said that TJ Beck won the contest. What do I know?
Opinion.
What do I know? But it'll be interesting to see. We'll do that coming up at 5:30 Mountain, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern time. It's really interesting. What did TJ say here? Can you see the numbers within the background of the boys' shirts? Oh, I see we're a little loud today, apparently. We didn't coordinate the wardrobes today. Gumby, what's up with you? Good to see you. Travis, still discussing this peasant Pac-2 conference. All right, let's just get it out of the way. Let's get into the Pac-12, because I think this is a really interesting story amongst a lot of interesting stories today. A ton coming out of Big 12 Media Day. Kyle Whittingham, I think, shocked a lot of people. What he said to Ross Dellinger and the folks at Yahoo, I think is absolutely stunning. We'll talk about that coming up in about 52 minutes, but let's start the show with the Pac-12 panic mode. And we've talked about this for a long time. It seems like the Pac-12's knee-jerk first reaction is to go to their lawyers and sue somebody. So I guess we really shouldn't be surprised about this, but I am. Here we are, where we have this revolution of G5, now G6 realignment that has caused reactions, chain reactions, people to make moves, and the Mountain West certainly has been part of that. They have added clubs. They have added the UTEPs, the UC Davises, and they have added GCU. And they add GCU beginning this year, 25-26. Now, remember, Grand Canyon, GCU, does not play football, but they are an elite athletic program just about everywhere else. Certainly in basketball on both ends, men's and women's. Softball is dominant. Baseball is dominant. Volleyball is dominant. Soccer is dominant. A really good athletic department. So you would think that people would be thrilled to be adding GCU to their conference as soon as possible in the Mountain West. Well, that is unless you are San Diego State and Boise State, who, upon hearing the news that GCU was joining the conference a year early, let go of press releases that included Boise State threatening litigation against the Mountain West for adding GCU a year early. Listen, I get it. You are now somehow bitter rivals with the Mountain West. But at what point does the Pac-12 stop suing people? And at what point does the Pac-12 stop trying to torpedo the Mountain West? And the crux of the argument, coming from people like San Diego State and Boise State, is that they were not consulted. They were not given a voice in what GCU does. My friends, you followed the bylaws that you played a big part in writing. San Diego State and Boise State were on the board at the Mountain West when they wrote the bylaws. It said if you're leaving the conference as soon as you give that notice, you're off the board of directors and you no longer have a say about the future business of the Mountain West Conference. And the funny thing is, when we look at the irony and we look at how long the exiting members of the Mountain West going to the Pac-12 drug their feet to the last hour, essentially, to give notice and send in their deposits on their exit fees so that they could try to hold up, slow the business roll of the Mountain West. Now you're off the board, and the Mountain West, by every measure, makes what is a really strong move for the future, adding GCU a year early. And now again, why am I not surprised that Boise State and San Diego State are upset about it, and Boise is threatening litigation in a press release? It's one of the stupidest arguments I think I've ever seen. You wrote the bylaws. Now you don't want to abide by them, and you don't want the bylaws applied to you. Well, too bad, sweetheart, because you left the conference, you gave written notice, you gave a deposit, and what is it you expect the Mountain West to do? Are you hoping the Mountain West just sits here and does absolutely nothing but pine over you and shed tears that now you went to the Pac-12? They're not going to do that, because the remaining members of the Mountain West have to worry about their livelihoods going forward as a conference. And that's exactly what they were doing when they added one of the better athletic departments on the West Coast to their conference. Period. Point blank. This was a really good business move. And Jake, it seems like that's upsetting the folks at the Pac-12.
Absolutely. And I think that the folks at the Pac-12 are once again showing us who they are. I mean, this is, I couldn't agree more. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. You wrote the bylaws and now you don't like them, and you're threatening legal action when you're already in legal action. Like it just is childish. Like, you shouldn't, it's the classic scenario in life where you shouldn't care about what your ex is doing. You should be focused on what you're doing and how you can move forward. Let me get this right. You're concerned that they're bringing in GCU, a school that does not play football, a year early? Like, what are we upset about? What's the issue? It's not like they brought in a football program that's going to threaten to win national championships and you're Boise State and all of a sudden you're upset about it. Like, it literally is merely you being upset about them doing something positive for their conference. Because once again, it's no longer your conference. You're leaving. You made that very clear when you submitted your papers and paid the exit fee, right? Like that's what happened. So I just think that this is the Pac-12 once again, and call me a hater, whatever you want to call me, don't care. Their behavior speaks for themselves, dude. They consistently put off this vibe and consistently hold true to their reputation that they don't care about what other people think about them, which has consistently hurt them in college football and frankly, just college athletic business, right? Like is the Pac-12 not the conference that people are like, yeah, that's the Pac-12, business is not great over there. They're in litigation. They're always in litigation. There's always something going on with those guys. That's exactly what this is all over again. So I was hardly surprised, and I found it laughable that this is the tact that they chose to take. Why would you not just say nothing? Don't comment on it. Like, who cares? To me, I just don't think it's some world-ending acquisition. Is GCU a quality institution? Absolutely. Has GCU grown from nothing? Absolutely. GCU has done a phenomenal job. And that basketball team is going to do great things in the Mountain West. No doubt about it. You can book that. But that does not mean that the departing members of the Mountain West going to the Pac-12 should be this upset about it. I don't understand why you thought it was a good idea to take to Twitter, of all places, and put out a statement, threatening legal action. Like, this is my problem. This has always been my problem with the Pac-12. Basically, since the Carol Folt USC backstabbing situation, that's when this problem began. Because again, this is just, in my opinion, this is bad business. This is you not saying, okay, well, hey, if we put out a statement, once again, talking about other people that frankly are not involved with us anymore, what are we doing? We're showing the world that all we care about is being, frankly, kind of petty. And that's what it is to me.
Yeah. And I think you look at what we've been talking about with GCU. And here's Brett McMurphy's tweet from On3 crediting Ross Dellinger, but not crediting the Monty Show.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. But when you look at the statements that are coming out, like this is from Nevada. What is it? I want to make sure I get the credit. NevadaSportsNet.com. You look at the vitriol in these statements. Boise State added, quote, the Mountain West actions are contrary to express representations the Mountain West and its commissioner made to the departing universities. Well, here's the issue, though, as this properly points out, which is when we started telling you they were going to join the conference as soon as possible this summer, when Grand Canyon would join the Mountain West, quote, as early as the second quarter of 2025, if permitted under conference bylaws. Well, guess what? Boise State and San Diego State, you have no say over conference bylaws anymore. You sent your letter, you sent your deposit, go about your business.
Why are you commenting on this?
Why are you so upset about this? Oh, because now you really have to compete. Why you're upset about this is this makes the Mountain West more money while you're still in the Mountain West that you will not have access to in the NCAA tournament shares. This makes it more difficult for all of your stick and ball sports, your soccer programs, your volleyball programs to win. Because do you guys understand that at GCU, they have competed not just to win games, they have competed for championships year in and year out in just about every sport they compete in. That's the level at which Grand Canyon University operates. It is a phenomenal athletic department. And this is, I would guess this is what's upsetting to Boise State and San Diego State. Coming out and saying that it was not communicated to you. They were dishonest. Is that not the pot calling the kettle black? At what point did you operate in good faith when you were putting a group together to pretty much, by everybody's description, cripple the Mountain West? At what point were you operating on good faith? When you wrote bylaws, and then when it was time for you to leave the conference, you said those bylaws don't matter, we're not paying exit fees. Instead, we're going to pay attorneys. At what point did you operate in good faith? At what point did you honestly communicate? Well, the answer is you didn't. At no point did you do that. And this is what I always say about the Pac-12. This is how they do business.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the rules and laws applied to them. And when they are applied to them, they sue. Whether it's poaching fees, whether it's exit fees, whether it's paying Comcast the right amount of money or not, whether it's honestly communicating whether it's trying to torpedo UCLA's move and USC's move. All of it's fair when it's you taking the action. But when the Mountain West Conference makes a pragmatic move to strengthen their financial and athletic situations as soon as possible, you're pissed off, you're betrayed, you're a victim, we're going to sue.
Which again, I don't even know how you come to that assertion when you're not even in the conference anymore. You're done. You're leaving the conference. This is not like you have no play here. Literally, you have no play. What's your play? What are you like? I would love to ask Boise State, what exactly are you going to sue for? What exactly is going to be your legal foundation for suing the Mountain West over adding GCU when the quote literally says, and if it's in the media and they're talking about bylaws in the media, you can guarantee that this was vetted before they added them, that, hey, if the bylaws permit it, we'll add them in Q2 of 2025.
Well, and the biggest thing is you're not on the board at the Mountain West anymore.
So what
you
are you
gave
suing
notice? It's wild to me. The only thing that makes sense is you're bringing in a consistently high-performing championship level athletic department. That's what I think they've won 5 straight Commissioner Cups in the WAC, which means they've won the most championships. Like, what are we even talking about? You don't want to have to compete. You wanted an easy button. You wanted you wanted to have it all your way.
A peasant conference to go to the Pac-12, and every pasture was greener in the Pac-12. And the reality is, once again, this is you taking a hit to your pride and being so blinded by that you're threatening to sue and basically barking up a tree that doesn't exist to get attention. Like,
this feels like, to me, Boise State and San Diego State are upset that they can no longer pull leverage over the rest of the conference and keep the Mountain West standing still instead of allowing them, and you're not allowing anything, but you'd like to be able to not allow them to grow. You'd like them to struggle so that you can say, well, look, the Mountain West was failing, we left. But now the Mountain West makes a really good move with Grand Canyon, and now you're upset about it because it actually pushes the Mountain West forward financially and from a competition status. You've got to work harder now to win softball games. And sure, are you going to have to probably remake a couple of schedules? You will. But is this catastrophic? You had an unbalanced league anyways. Why do you care about schedule making? That's not difficult in basketball. They don't play football. So you're telling me you're this upset about a soccer schedule? Come on, be better. This is again why people find themselves in a position where they have consternation about the Pac-12.
Yeah, and I just think it's not only consternation, but this is like when Pac-12 fan wonders why we're rarely in a position to say nice things about the Pac-12. This is why. Like, what am I supposed to say about this conference that's nice? What am I like? What is the? I think we've been pretty fair on the makeup of the league. I think we've been very. I would even go as far as to say I've made a concerted effort to be nicer about the Pac-12 in their makeup. I've said things that hey, they've got this. They're potentially really good in football.
You've been winning. You've been dropping good news. You got your CBS deal. You've got your grant of rights. You got all this stuff, and you're moving in the right direction.
And then you decided to talk about someone else, and what happened?
And then you're threatening to sue more people, and you're upset about what amounts to nothing. Just take your wins. You're moving in the right direction. You added Texas State. You're a full-fledged conference. You got your CBS deal. Just keep moving in the right direction. And again, I will just ask, why do Pac-12 membership and fandom, why do you obsess over what the Mountain West is doing? Why? What is the obsession? I'll never understand why the Pac-12 and its membership and its fan base, why do you obsess about success or failure of the Mountain West? You've already decreed that you're the best G5 conference and the Mountain West is dead and Gloria is a terrible commissioner. And okay, great. Let them toil in obscurity. They can never live up to the mightiness of the Pac-12. Let them toil and drown in their ineptitude. And why do you care? The Mountain West is just such a pile of garbage. Why do you care? The Mountain West is embarrassing and they don't have a brand. So why do you care?
Because it's garbage.
It's this awful, irrelevant conference. So why do you care?
Oh, that's right. Because every time they add someone, they're not as much of an awful, irrelevant conference.
This is really petty. And if there is a bylaw they broke, if there is, it better not be a handshake deal that you're upset about, because the Pac-12 is routinely broken handshake deals. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, unless you're the Pac-12.
You're literally in litigation with the Mountain West. Why would they honor any handshake deal if they allegedly had one of those with you?
What you're doing as a conference. Do you understand that people like San Diego State and Boise State are suing the Mountain West on multiple fronts? They're suing the Mountain West through the Pac-12 with these poaching fees. You are suing the Mountain West to get out of the exit fees you put into the bylaws. And now you're threatening to sue the Mountain West over adding GCU a year early because you can't pull a lever and have say and control over the Mountain West Conference. Do you understand how ridiculous all of that is? That you are suing the Mountain West in essentially threatening to sue them in triplicate because they added GCU, who you said you didn't want in your conference. Why do you care? Why do you care? That's what I will never understand. All right, let's get to the comment section because I really want to hear from you guys on this. And if you're a supporter of the Pac-12, please feel free. Let me know, what is the Mountain West done wrong here? What is this unbelievable breach of laws and commerce that requires Boise State to file litigation?
It just sounds ridiculous you saying it. I mean, honestly, it literally is like you're saying it, and I'm like, bro, what? But like your Boise State is threatening to sue the Pac-12 or threatening to sue the Mountain West again over adding GCU in a allegedly and mostly agreed upon legal way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I don't mean to be dramatic.
I don't know.
But if you're the Pac-12, and again, maybe we shouldn't be surprised, and maybe fool me once, fool me twice, I should learn my lesson. But how has this conference not learned that it's not about constantly suing everybody? Like, you're in a spot where you got to build momentum. Like, do you not want all your TV partners and everyone who's watching you every day and what you do and what you announce? Do you not want that to be as positive as possible, as often as possible?
I would think so.
Yeah, here we are.
All I want is for you guys to hit the like button.
Please.
That's
Stay hard.
That's all I want. Give us a
Please.
thumbs up, hit the like button. If you were watching on X, one of the biggest days we've had yesterday on X, I really appreciate so many people on X, Twitter, there was a little spat yesterday about whether it's Twitter or X. Call it whatever you want. On the X platform, we really appreciate you watching the show. Thank you. Please consider coming over to YouTube, hitting subscribe, giving us a thumbs up on the YouTube channel. Hello to everybody on the audio podcast. Jake says nobody listens to our audio podcast. True or false?
I wouldn't say nobody.
Well, 13 people.
Yeah, something like that.
Audio podcasts are doing pretty well right now. Wherever you get a podcast, Apple, Google, iHeartMedia, wherever it is, just search the Monty Show podcast. And really, the quickest way to find all our stuff, go to Google and search The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. It all pops up. Thanks for being here. We could not do this show without you. First one in today. Look at that. TJ Beck, who apparently has already won the video submission contest. From what I understand, I haven't seen TJ's video. I have chosen to stay out of it and to stay agnostic. A tennis player slipped on the grass and pretty much dropped his nuts on the ground. Good luck there, bud. Anyway, the point is I am easily distracted. I have chosen to stay agnostic about the videos before I see them. But Jake came in here today essentially with a swollen right forearm telling me he has watched TJ Beck's video 100 times. So it is what it is. TJ, we appreciate you gifting 50 Monty Show memberships.
Yeah, if you're not a member now, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, bro.
Sparsh, Andrew Watt.
What?
Joseph Lindley. Rowdy Runner, Ashtonators. Okay. A ton of people picked up the memberships. There's still a good bit of those available. Hook it up. TJ, appreciate the gifting. Let's see. And Donuts, they're trying to use it as leverage.
For what?
That's my question.
For what?
Yep. Toot Pants. GCU men's and women's basketball is good. Look like they combined for 0 Sweet 16 appearances in their history. So now it's, have you been to the Sweet 16? That's the only measure. Do you guys understand how new GCU athletics is? And I'm going to guess by this comment you don't. I could be wrong, and maybe you do, but GCU is a relatively young athletic department. And let me look up the date. I want to make sure. But if you look at GCU basketball, we're talking about, really, it's probably less than 30 years as a major competitor. They have, their first time in the NCAA tournament was 2021. Their first time going to the NCAA Division II tournament was 1992. You guys understand that this is a program that is very, very young. It is, I think they began Division I play in 2013. Maybe it was 2014. So when you start saying things like 0 Sweet 16 appearances, nobody's comparing them to Gonzaga. And again, here's what I ask. If GCU's not good at all, and Toot Pants, I don't know where you fall on if you're a Pac-12 fan or not or whatever. If GCU's so irrelevant, what are you upset about? Why is Boise threatening lawsuits and litigation? Because GCU's never been to the Sweet 16. What are we upset about? Why did there just this crappy old basketball program?
The Mountain West sucks, dude.
Right? Never been out of the second round of the NCAA tournament. Like, what are we even upset about? That's the thing that I will never understand.
Yeah.
Is why do you care? 2A or death. Okay. The issue is it is a year early. Okay. So to continue with your example, it's moving the new boyfriend in before he moved out. So now there's something in the, and I was unaware of this. There's now something in the Mountain West bylaws that says no new members can be added until those who gave notice are gone.
And let me correct you. They did move out. They issued their notice. They're gone. It's over, dude.
Yeah, it matters nothing what San Diego State and the exiting members of the conference think, because they're no longer on the board.
They're not on the board. They're for all purposes, they're gone. Like, I don't think you understand, dude. Like, it's over. Like, they're going to the Pac-12. That's it. You're not on the board. You don't have decision-making power. And let me double down on that, as Brett Yormark said yesterday. You don't have the right to have decision-making power in this conference based on the bylaws that you wrote.
You signed over. You're right.
So the idea that you know, and again, it's not unique to you because I've seen this take many times today, but the idea that Pac-12 fan is like, oh, well, the issue is that we haven't left the conference yet, so that means that they can't be improving the conference until we're gone. No, actually, that's not what it means. What it means is there's not a damn thing you can do about it, and they're well within their right to improve the conference as they see fit.
Correct. Phil Benzer, I can't wait till the Pac-12 sues the College Football Playoff Committee.
Yeah. What are you, the Florida State of the West Coast?
The Pac-12 has got to stop suing people. And I know that may seem simplistic, and you got to stop suing people. When do you put your money into growth? When do you put your money into moving forward instead of into litigation and lawyers' fees? It is perplexing to me. Perplexing. I just don't understand it at all. Let's see. Phil, Pac-2 is a joke. Stop it. Well, the Pac-2 is not a joke. The Pac-12 is actually a really good conference at the G5 level. You get into trouble when all the Pac-12 fans come into the comment section saying we're going to be a power conference, and when Pac-12 fans just won't leave the Mountain West alone. Like, you just have to. I don't understand the mudslinging. And then when it comes out that you have a deal with CBS, and I tell you, TV sources have told us repeatedly, CBS and the Mountain West will likely remain in business together. I just remember I said that again on July 9th. My belief is, based on executives in television that I've spoken directly to, I think the Mountain West and CBS will remain in business together. I think the Mountain West is going to not. I don't think the Mountain West is going to die. Like, I know that Pac-12 fans are rooting for that, which, again, I just say, why do you care? And why are you hoping that the Mountain West Conference goes away? Like, that may be the baseline question. Why are so many Pac-12 fans rooting for the Mountain West Conference to fail? What sense does that make?
Well, the Mountain West is responsible for the Pac-12. Is that right?
I guess. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it. TJ Beck, wait. But Monty, you mean when people show you who they are, you should believe them? Exactly right. Exactly right. And this litigious tendency that the Pac-12 continues to display, it's a lawsuit league. That's exactly right, Gumby. It's a lawsuit league. It's crazy. Like, I wish that I had some understanding of why so many people in the Pac-12 are so angry, because I will never understand it. It's shocking to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the classic little brother syndrome, meaning that it's like, it's that whole concept of, the guy in the room that has some value, does some nice things, but can't focus on himself, has to focus on everyone else in the room, and has to always be talking about someone else. And typically that talk is negative, and it leads nowhere, and it's not productive. And really, it just puts you in a position where people don't want to do business with you, man. I got news for you guys. Like, people don't want to do business with the negative folks of the world, right? If you're the person that's always spewing negativity, like, people don't want to talk to you. Like, people aren't trying to, like, that doesn't help you in negotiations. And it certainly doesn't help you with your reputation when you meet someone new. Oh yeah, you're the guy over here that's is always doing negative stuff, right? That's what you're doing by constantly suing people. That's the message you're sending. Like, don't even talk to me about what the Pac-12 or its fans think about, the format of the CFP, or like the Super League of the future. Like, you got other problems.
Yeah.
Like, you're not there yet.
Yeah. It's such bad form to be rooting against other people's success. Loner Phone says Brett McMurphy annoys me. Okay. Did you get this enlightenment while you were meditating in the Philippines? Is that what?
Yeah.
You seem a little more chill since you got back from your trip, Loner, which I think is a good thing. Timothy O'Hara has San Diego State is going to play for a national title in football this year. Could be. I told you so Wednesday, potentially. Kite Sunday, reminder, all good Americans pirate Pac-12 football games. Love that. Loner Phone says, from optics standpoint, Mountain West is in a better position, in my opinion. We'll see when all the dust settles. I don't know that we can say that without knowing the Pac-12's full media rights deal, the new deal for the Mountain West. I think Mountain West Media Day is going to be very interesting to see what dumbass Wicker has to say. I don't know if he talks or not. He can't seem to stay away from a microphone. He can't seem to, when he gets in front of a microphone, do nothing but humiliate San Diego State. We'll see how that goes, but I guess we'll find out sooner than later. It's just crazy to me. Perry Stevenson, hello. GCU is a great addition to the Mountain West. Who cares what Boise State and San Diego think? They're not a Mountain West member anymore. Good riddance. And I think a lot of remaining Mountain West fans have that good riddance feeling about it. The Pac-12, I truly hope for the Pac-12 that they find a 24 to 36 month period where they don't sue anybody and all they do is win games. Just disappear and only come out when you win games, right? That's all that you should be doing, because I think you have betrayed and you have heaped so much bad energy into the world that you have a lot of people who have no choice but to root against you. I mean, the meltdown situation on its own previously, when the 10 members left, okay, that wasn't your fault. That was a circumstance of collective incompetence. But since that moment, you have not moved away from that. And you continue to make these ridiculous moves, like trying to get out of these poaching fees, having the exiting members of the Mountain West sue the conference for exit fees. It's mind-numbing to me how you've operated. It just reinforces who you've always been. It just is, it's remarkable to me, the audacity to believe that you should sue to get out of the exit fees that you yourself wrote into the bylaws of the Mountain West. Let that sink in, San Diego State. Do you guys understand that San Diego State is the only reason the bylaws are currently written the way they're written? Because remember the pro rata we deserve, we're going to the Pac-12. Here's a letter that I denied I ever wrote, but I'm going to send it to you. You remember that? And they added the $5,000 prepayment for the exit fees. And remember that? Who wrote those bylaws? Well, in part, the exiting 5 members. And why did they write them? Because of San Diego State's stupidity. It just doesn't pay to treat people well. Because in my opinion, the Mountain West probably should have excommunicated San Diego State, but on some level they needed them, so they couldn't. So you wrote bylaws that San Diego State's like, fuck them. Well, bylaws. What are those? Take your bylaws and shove them where the sun don't shine.
Right.
But that's what it feels like. And J.D. Wicker talking about TV deals that never happened and still have not happened. Adela Della Torre releasing statements, begging the Pac-12. Well, congratulations. Now you're in the Pac-12. And you still can't get out of your own way.
It's incredible.
I'll never understand it. Never understand it. Big Blue Horses. PAC members aren't going to have any distribution if they keep going to court. They piss off the wrong judge. It could get pricey because you litigate things that, frankly, you shouldn't be litigating. And if your only hope was to get to mediation to reduce your cost, okay, I could almost understand that. Problem with that is, who asked for mediation? Who started the mediation process? The Mountain West did. Pac-12, I truly believe the Pac-12 would have been happy to go to court, where I think I can't find a legal person to tell me that the Pac-12 would have won that case. And I think you'd have lost big. And you still would have gone to court. And you would have lost big. And then you would have had to pay the poaching fees. They ask you to go to mediation. You're in mediation now. And then you're still threatening to sue more over something that you wanted to have a say in, but you couldn't because of your own bylaws. Like, it makes my head hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It makes my head hurt. Chris Faithful, Boise State's claim is that the Mountain West changed the bylaws after Boise State announced they were leaving to add the part that the leaving schools lost their seat on the board. It's not true, but it's the claim. I didn't see that part where they claim they changed the bylaws are, let that sink in. You're claiming that the Mountain West committed fraud by manipulating bylaws. You don't think that and I know this is an assumption, and I probably shouldn't be making this assumption.
Yeah, you're going to make an ass out of me and you,
Those bylaws have been publicly available. They're not hard to find. They're on the Mountain West website. They're not like secret. What are you, the ESPN ACC contract?
A smoking gun.
They're not secret. It's a public document that is on the Mountain West website. Do you know how hard it would be to go on that website, get those bylaws? And again, I know I'm crazy. You're a member of the Mountain West. You wrote those bylaws with everybody else in the Mountain West. You don't have a copy of those in a Word file somewhere? Like, hey, here are the bylaws we wrote. Here are the bylaws that are being presented today. Like, just walk in front of a judge and say, okay, here you go. They committed fraud. Oh, you can't do that, because if that's truly what you're claiming, and I don't know that it is, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, I will never understand it. Thomas Bruni, Boise, Colorado State, Utah State sued the Mountain West over exit fees, despite the fact all Mountain West schools had previously agreed to exit fees. Now, as part of the admission into the Pac-12, these same schools agreed to Pac-12 exit fees. Hypocrisy. It is craziness. And never mind. It's crazy. It's crazy. Dead 12, Mountain West, both irrelevant conferences. I don't think they're irrelevant.
But here's the problem, dude. Like, why even comment that? If you're not interested in the conversation, just say that.
Well,
like,
I don't know that he's saying he's not interested in the conversation. What I think he's saying is it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because these two conferences don't matter. To which I would say, well, the college football playoff spot would say different. To which I would say the NCAA tournament and the tournament shares say different. If these two conferences don't matter, what's Gonzaga doing there and what's Grand Canyon doing there? There's money to be made. And historically, the Mountain West has been a very good multi-bid league. I mean, I think you've been a 3-4 bid league for how many years now? Now, my guess is it's going to take them a while to build their basketball back. But I would think now with Grand Canyon in the league, are you a 5 or 6 team league this year? And a year from now, are you a 2-bid league, 3-bid league? I think you probably are. That's not irrelevant. That's not irrelevant at all. Illumindursky, all jokes aside, I'd like to hear something positive related to the Mountain West media rights renewal. So would I. I think everybody's waiting for it. Everybody's waiting for it. Mountain West Media Day is coming up.
Yeah, I think everyone wants something positive. I honestly, I think what everyone wants is for this to be done. I mean, again, you want to talk about like what we talk about on the show every day. I would love to not have to talk about this every single day, but seemingly there's always something that comes up with it every single day.
Well, look at that. Moth Prof. Where have you been? Good to see you. Texas State going to be running the Pac-12 in less than a decade. The Pac will be better then.
Okay.
Texas State, the 27th largest football program in the state of Texas.
Well, when Jake Retzloff is quarterback in that squad, things will be better.
Please, you guys. I turned off my TikTok DMs for like 35 seconds and then turned them back on. Stop asking me where Jake Retzloff is going.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And if one more foolhardy dude says, "Oh, I saw a report that he was going to Baylor," that was a fake report.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
It was a never was report. Man, he's not going to Baylor. He's not going to Baylor. Boise State, San Diego State, Fresno State should form a new conference. I mean, it could be amazing.
I think that was Florida State. I think he's saying they're all complaining.
No, Fresno State. FSU, Fresno State University.
Okay.
FSU. Okay. You know. Timothy O'Hara, what's the media market? Texas State, Grand Canyon in the 7th largest city media market in the country. Well, you know. And Texas State, the worst thing about this thing with Texas State is they took a significantly reduced share of media rights. Some people believe they're getting $2 million a year. Multiple people have said, hey, $2 million a year for Texas State.
Hey, Morty.
I hope that's not true.
Yeah.
Bro, come on. Big 12 is irrelevant as well. Well, apparently not. Apparently not. See, this is the kind of stuff I don't understand. When you say things like the Big 12's irrelevant, it tells me you just know nothing about college athletics. It's remarkable to say something. You're just being a red ass, and you're a Michigan fan, and you're being a red ass. How about Sonny Dykes today saying, yeah, we got their signals. We got the news that they were stealing signs, so we changed our signals. Don't think I'd be playing for a national championship if we hadn't found out they were stealing signals. You guys bit hook, line, and sinker. You got played. You played yourself.
Yep.
So we'll see. I don't see any. I don't see vitriol on YouTube, perhaps on X. About what? About the Pac-12 in the Mountain West? Look, you don't. Yeah, you know. Doug Salisbury. The Pac schools very sincerely care about the sanctity of the upcoming volleyball season. After all, it's not like they were canceling games against San Jose State last year because they were scared of a player. No, they would never do that. You know. Moth Prof, San Antonio and Austin about the same as the GCU market. Good ad by the Mountain West it was. And can I just say, what is going on with did you guys see that this flooding in New Mexico now? Forget about the absolute heat and unbelievable humidity that we've seen in large swaths of this country. What's happening in Central Texas and now what happened in New Mexico? I just
rough, bro.
I can't fathom what those people are going through.
It's really rough.
I cannot fathom it. It is, that is rough. Capazzo, what's going on in the Jeezy, my friend? I got invited to play at Black Desert on Labor Day weekend. Unfortunately, I cannot. Apparently, there's some kind of special tournament. You know, Monty, the golf influencer, can't hit my irons at all, but I'm a golf influencer.
That's right.
I want to go down and play Black Desert. I can't make it work on Labor Day weekend, but that would have been amazing. Timothy O'Hara, the Pac-12 is jealous of the Mountain West. That's why why their fans get the way they are. I don't know if it's jealousy or what it is. I don't know. I want to see this play out. There may be different angles. Could be on donuts. Very much could be. The Mountain West was not roll over and die without them. I think that's probably the biggest thing. I think so many Pac-12 fans got out over their skis and were like, oh, the Mountain West is dead now. Turns out they're not dead.
Yeah.
Not dead. Very much not dead. Very much not dead. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how all that plays out, but you know, we'll see. Chewy Gonzalez for $2. Lawyers are the 12th man for the Pac-12, apparently.
Apparently, dude.
I mean, I can't even imagine the money that the Pac-12 is paid in lawyer fees. I don't even That's money you and I will never have. I mean, it's amazing. 7 minutes away from Big 12 Media Day. And what did Kyle Whittingham say that just blew the minds of college football fans? It's unreal. We'll talk about that in 7 minutes. Delaric, who's been a member for 28 months. Breaking news, Pac-12 changing name to Sioux 12. Exactly. Chewy Gonzalez for $5. Breaking news, Edmonton Oilers are relocating to New York City. They will now be called the P. Diddy Oilers. Okay. Are you guys surprised he got found not guilty? I'm stuck on that. I'll be honest with you.
It's wild.
I cannot believe that P. Diddy is not guilty.
You can't tell me he actually thought he'd be not guilty. Come on.
No. There's no way.
I mean, was he not just preparing to go to prison the rest of his life?
Prison rules, baby. I think he was. Big Pontiff. Pac-12 o'clock, call the lawyer on the front of the envelope because it's always Pac-12 o'clock somewhere.
Back to the envelope calculations.
Sue somebody. Exactly right, Pontiff. Good to see you, Brandon. Love Muscle. I went to see Motley Crue, but instead it was Yachtly Crew, the cover band. Reminds me of the new PAC. It's not the real deal. I see what he did there.
See what he did there.
See what he did there.
I see what you did there, dude. Nice job. Nice job, bro.
Chewy says, Big Pontiff, I know. I'm hopeful that they get healthy before August so we can hold our home plate advantage in the postseason. Big worry is Muncy, but thank God it's just a bruised knee. Dude, did you guys see the Max Muncy play at third base the other night? And I have no idea what they're doing in Milwaukee because however they're doing what they're doing with their stick and balls, dude, the Cubs are in real trouble. I hope people understand that. And I'm not just saying that as like a biased Cubs fan. The Chicago Cubs are in real trouble in the Central.
Yeah, I'm saying it as a loser on Prize Picks who took PCA last night and who gave me absolutely nothing. Thanks, bro.
Okay. You want to talk about losing on Prize Picks last night?
You know, come through on my demon with Jackson Holiday, 3.5 hits, runs, RBIs yesterday. Absolutely cashed that with 6. Nah, Shota didn't have any strikeouts. Pete Crow Armstrong, absolutely nothing. Whatever, dude.
Bros.
Whatever.
I had 2 plays last night on Prize Picks. The first one, speaking of P. Diddy, I needed baby lotion because Shota had 1 strikeout. PCA had 0 hits, runs, and RBIs. Aaron Judge, who I told you to take last night, had 5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Not 1 or 2 or 3, 5. 5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Right? And amazing performance. Jocularity at its finest.
Jocularity.
But I decided, being old Uncle Morty over here, well, I'm losing this play. I better double down on a baseball 3-pick.
Oh, dear.
Rafael Devers.
Hey, Devers.
Hey, fat ass.
Yeah. Hey, he who cannot play the field anymore.
Rafael Devers. Just 1 run. No, none. Robbie Ray. Taco Tuesday. 4.5 strikeouts. That motherfucker. He gave me 5.
That's my guy right there.
But then I made the faithful decision to go Luis Arise from the Padres.
Dear.
I've been a rich man and I have been a poor man.
And I choose Luis Arise every fucking time. 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. He gave me 3. I won $25.
The biggest load that we've seen.
So your boy's back.
Yeah.
I broke the streak. We'll get into Prize Picks coming up in just a few. The Cubs are in real trouble.
Yeah. It's
the bullpen has been horrendous the last week.
Garbo.
I don't know what happens coming out of the break. Stadium guy James. How was James's video? I know that I know you P. Diddy'd yourself while watching it.
You know, I didn't go to the rectory, but like, you know, it was on par.
Oak State James live in the rectory is your new name.
Yeah.
Dear Pac-12, if you want to grow your conference, come to the Rectory. Find someone who has a good fan base and a decent stadium. Well, you said that was Texas State. Guy, are you out of your goddamn mind? You have been on this show like...
Monty from Montycopter 69, Texas State's fans travel to away games. They do.
Oak State James has sat on this show and absolutely pontificated, has absolutely credentialized Texas State and talked about how, oh my God, Monty, Texas State, have you seen that stadium that holds 1,700 people? Let me tell you something. Their IPF, you have waxed on about how Texas State's solid, and now you have to invite Memphis or Tulane. And what is Tulsane? I've never heard of Tulsane. Is that like Dasani water? UTSA, North Texas, Memphis, or Dasani water?
My bad, Monty. I fat fingered it. My bad.
You know, it's fine. It's fine. It just is what it is. I've gotten used to it now, and I am used to it with Oak State James. All right, couple more on this. Fast as a shark, except, says Mike Smith. Expounded on? Yes. Jeremiah Champion. He's rich. He pays a wedding planner. The fact that Jake, when is your wedding? Did your wedding happen already? Did you sweat through the suit? Let me know what happened. The fact that Jake sighs before reading every one of James' comments is amazing, dude. You know, Dasani State. Yeah, all right. Crappy bottled water university. So you guys might know that I am a water snob.
How many of you are water snobs in the comment section?
I do not. Okay, I was in Chicago over the weekend, and it was hot. Bro, I was sweating from top to taint. I was sweating like everywhere. It was brutal. The only water available to me at one point was Dasani. Did I drink it?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
No, your boy went cramping down the road to go find real water that does not include roach urine.
Kiss my butt.
I am not.
I'm not drinking that peasant water.
Drinking Dasani. You give me any water in a can, and it's beautiful. You give me the Tears of Christ, otherwise known as Fiji bottled water, straight from the tap.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
It's probably not bottled in Fiji.
Yeah, JC and his dad got it from the river.
Tulsanic vinegar. That's my jam.
Yeah. Tulsanic.
But Monty, give the wardrobe department a raise, Monty. Looking good today. You know. Deer Park, that's good water. What you drink from a deer tap is up to you. Only smart water for this MFer.
No.
There you go, Brandon. There you go. Smart water.
You gotta do Fiji, bro.
I like Fiji.
Yeah,
but I'm trying never to drink out of a plastic bottle ever again. Like,
well, you've gone so far as to not even now you've graduated to like Gatorade kind of drinks where you won't even drink Red 40 or anything.
I don't drink artificial colors at all. I will not drink Red 40. I will not drink. I read the label on my Gatorade before I drink it. Absolutely true. Jeremiah Champion, it was this past weekend and it was hot as hell. Wait, it was hot as hell?
Well, hold on. Now look at the end of the comment.
In more ways than one.
My bad. That was my fault. That was my fault. Sorry, guys. That was my bad. Sorry. Do it again. Replay. Wind it back. Sorry.
Congratulations, Jeremiah. I hope married life is very average for you. Charlie Casoto. Oh, shit. This ought to be good. What about the Air Force? They fly these, you guys. I got to tell you about these jets. They flew these jets.
There was a recent trip that they made to Iran.
Did you guys see Donnie talking about? Well, so he's been going on and on about the pilots of the B-52s.
Mm-hmm.
And today he was like, oh, well, it's not even the pilots. Those Jets. Let me tell you about the Jets. Oh, is that, you mean Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets? I mean, like, it was amazing. You know, Joey B, Monty being a water snob, not shocking. He drives an X5. Low key water snob. I love overpaying for Avion. You and me both.
It does have a certain maltiness that is quite enjoyable.
It does. It's Schlitz malt water. Stadium guy, Oak State James, Texas State's biggest fan. Oak State James coming to you live from the rectory. I'm charting and trying to do two things at once. Even I misspell a word every once in a while. You do?
What?
I'm not perfect. You're not? I just serve the one who is.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
You serve me? No.
Morty?
No. Tulsa, Tulane merged. Yeah, Tulsa and Tulane merged. Now they suck bad.
Yeah.
And donuts snob here. Tap smells like chlorine.
Oh.
Hey, we don't put chlorine or fluoride in the water. We can't put fluoride in the water.
Bro.
What?
It's so hard to listen to him talk.
It is. Monty likes the Fiji water at the B&W Service Center. I do. Gibson Steakhouse in Chicago only serves Fiji water.
I didn't know that the BMW dealer had a Gibson's inside of it. I was unfamiliar with that.
Luis Moreno. Hi, Luis. Monty, a water snob? More like a soda guy. I do not drink soda.
No, sir.
I felt guilty of, again, Wrigley Field.
Right.
Everybody ain't able. I am. I don't drink soda, so I was drinking lemonade.
Did you have a hot dog?
Shut up. I was drinking lemonade. I love me some lemonade, dude.
Yeah.
But you drink those calories. I did have a hot dog.
Good.
Or 26.
Good. Excellent.
Did not get to Superdog this trip, though. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I went to, here's a list of Chicago restaurants. Gibson's Steak and Seafood. Tavern on Rush, outstanding. And then I can't remember the name of the breakfast place I went to in Chicago. Right off the Miracle Mile. Oh, man, dude, bro. I can't remember the name of it. But it was Canella Breakfast Club. The Canella Breakfast Club. It was outstanding.
What'd you have?
Food? Breakfast.
Well, yeah.
I had 4 eggs scrambled on sourdough toast with some roasted potatoes.
Nice.
The purple pig sucked. My wife is texting me. I'm telling you, where do I begin with this place? The Purple Pig. It's a bacon restaurant, essentially.
Okay, thus the pig portion.
The food wasn't bad. It just wasn't good.
Okay, what did you have?
Why can I not remember? My wife had the winning dish there. She had chicken chunks. She had chicken kebabs in tzatziki sauce, and it was...
Okay.
I can't remember what I had at the Purple Pig. Dude, I'm so old. I am so old, it's ridiculous. Oh, I had a steak. I think I had a steak at the Purple Pig. I could be wrong.
Assuming that this steak was like bacon wrapped or something.
God, I can't. No, I don't eat bacon ever. But it doesn't matter here nor there. My wife won. She had chicken kebabs with tzatziki sauce, but I also had this purple potato. That's right. I had the short rib ravioli. That's right. That's right. Thank you, sweetheart. I had the short rib ravioli. And it was good, but it was really greasy. And my wife gave me a couple of chicken chunks off the kebab. Excellent. The tzatziki, excellent.
How do you mess up short
Everything
rib ravioli, bro?
Because it was really greasy. But we also went to Navy Pier. We went to this place called the Offshore Rooftop. Don't ever go.
Is that like a bar or something?
No, it was a restaurant that was on top of Navy Pier. But they were like angry to see us. Hi, do you have a reservation? Yeah. What time? 5:30.
Do you require Fiji?
What's your name? It's Morty. Come this way, Morty. Fucking asshole. Like, that's how you felt. They're walking us over there, and you sit down at this table. You're like, okay, maybe homie's having a bad day, is what it is. It was wild to me.
Were they even busy?
No.
That's probably why they were pissed.
I'll tell you what, Navy Pier was off the chain busy. You know, probably the best thing of the 5th of July was one of the worst nights I've ever had in Chicago. It was hotter than hell. We could not stay for the baseball game that day. Like, we literally stayed, I think, an inning and a half or whatever it was at Wrigley, because it was like 95 degrees and 80% humidity. You could not breathe.
Yeah.
You could not exist. We went across the street. We went across the street to Lucky Strike Bowling and had lunch, watched the game on a big screen. It was that hot. The ballpark was empty. It was crazy. So then we walked down the Navy Pier that night. It was like you couldn't walk. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But I'm telling you, the Gibson's was amazing. The mashed potatoes at Gibson were amazing.
Any more celebrities there this time?
No. But one of the best things I had was at my hotel. I stayed at the Wade on Lakeshore Drive. They had a dessert there. We were playing cards on the 5th of July. We were just sitting at a table, the four of us, playing 21, playing blackjack. It took over an hour to get flatbread cherry pie. And it was the single greatest. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. The Drake. We went to the Drake Hotel for dessert one night. Oh my God. I mean,
Stay hard.
It was unbelievable. I could tell you Chicago stories. You guys don't care. You guys don't care. You don't even. Why don't Catholics eat bacon? Well, I'm not Catholic. I'm recovering Catholic. I just think bacon's terrible for you. And pigs roll around in their own poop and they eat it. And yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. Comment dumb. Play Psycho Killer and smile at the waiter, I guess. Right? Like, Frank Layden died? When did was that recently? Frank Layden's a legend. Frankly, I used to have Frank Layden on my show every week at Sporting News. Oh yeah, Frank Layden died. Damn. That's brutal. That is brutal at the age of 93. Oh, man. Thanks for sharing that, Keaton. Frank Layden was a great basketball man and a storyteller. Capazzo, Monty, what the hell? You don't eat bacon? That's like putting blue cheese on flats. That's blasphemy. But dudes.
Okay, is it more about that the pig rolls around in its own crap, or is it that you genuinely, like, you're trying to do it health-wise?
But I'm in a weird spot. There's a lot of things I don't like eating, but yet I'll shove a cherry pie flatbread down my face, right? The problem with bacon is I just know what that pig is. It's so dirty. It is so... I'll occasionally eat a pork chop, and that's really occasional. I'm at a point in my midlife crisis where I'm pretty much chicken or turkey, maybe a little bit of steak, or I'm not eating it, right?
Like, you're not a big fish guy either.
I like whitefish. My wife had when we were with my brother-in-law, and he had a bronzino that just looked out of this world. At Tavern on Rush, if you're in Chicago, Tavern on Rush and Gibson's are musts. But I got to tell you, the bronzino looked really good. My wife had amazing salmon. I'll eat shrimp all day. I'll eat whitefish all day. You know. I had fish and chips at this rooftop place. It was okay. Super fresh, but, you know, it's got to be good. It's got to be good. You know, it is what it is. The offshore rooftop equals Blue Oyster Bar. Okay. I get it I totally get that as a police academy. Monty likes Coney Island whitefish. No. I bet Monty only likes Grey Poupon too. There's some truth in that. Rocher, how about PSG 4-0 over Real Madrid today? Chelsea on Sunday. Should be fun. It's going to be hot. It is going to be hot. All right. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show. is presented by our good friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy app, came through huge last night on the old Prize Picks app with that second win. I got to tell you, though, I love playing baseball on Prize Picks, but the dub is back tonight. Angel Reese, 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Angel Reese? She's at the top of the key, beyond the three-point line. She waves her teammates out of the way. She wants to go one-on-one. She tries to dribble to the basket, immediately has the ball taken from her. They go down and get a layup. She is just not a good basketball player.
Dreadful, bro.
She is, I'm telling you right now, she is not good whatsoever at all. But Paige Beckers really screwed me last time out.
And she's playing, obviously, Angel Reese.
Yes. I'm looking at three-pointers made. She averages 1.2 in her last 5 games. The Demon's 1.5.
The Demon.
Maybe I just stay away from good old Pagey Poo, because it has been rough lately.
Katie Clark doesn't play till Friday.
No, and she's been hurt, thankfully. So she's got a couple of extra days to get back.
All right, I'm going to a different sport to round out this WNBA.
Why?
Because I can't.
Okay, what are you doing?
Baseball, hits, runs, RBIs. Just
Aaron Judge. You got to go Aaron Judge. He's the best hitter on the planet right now. I think if you go hits, runs, and RBIs, there is no reason you can't go 3.5. He's averaging 3.2 in his last 5.
Yeah,
I'm going Demon on Aaron Judge, hits, runs, and RBIs. I have to think the Chicago Cubs are going to bounce back tonight. Their offense is now, the problem is they're throwing Cade Horton today.
Hey, Cade.
So you're probably going to need a good bit of offense to win this game. I think you either go Seiya Suzuki-san. I can't believe he's not an all-star. It's embarrassing. Or I think, do you keep riding Michael Busch, Michael Busch hit the longest home run I have ever seen last Friday at Wrigley Field. He hit the top of the scoreboard in right field. I think Michael Busch has been red hot. He's cooled a little bit. So you're probably riding PCA like the hog that he is.
Yeah.
He was a 0 last night, which I don't think is going to continue. So I'm going to go Demon on him. And then what are you going to do to round out? Are you going dub? What are you doing? Soccer?
Yeah, no, I did 2 dubs in an MLB. So I took Angel Reese.
2 dubs. Angel Reese what?
Angel Reese, more than 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Wow.
Paige Beckers, more than 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Aaron Judge, 3.5 on the Demon. Hits, runs, RBIs.
All right, I'm 20 to win 160 on good old Angel Reese, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Aaron Judge. Let's go. Put it in. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty to open up a new Prize Picks account. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more into your Prize Picks account so you can play all day long, my friends. That'll last you the rest of the baseball season. Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy app. Hook it up in 1 hour and 15 minutes. The greatness that is the video submission contest. Should we give them James first? Let's give them a little teaser.
Okay.
Should we give them a little teaser?
Sure, yeah, sure. What the hell?
Facilities. Let's look at what's going on here at Texas. Brand new. This is James, your favorite stadium guy. Let's talk facilities.
I don't know what happened.
Let's look at what's going on here at Texas. Brand new IPF coming soon. Baylor, look at what they did. TCU, Cincinnati, brand new IPF just opened up in May. And even here with Houston, their new football ops is going to be at the end of their stadium. And then, of course, they had a huge indoor practice facility. Now, why does this matter? Facilities matter because this is what the kids that play deal with on a daily basis. Now, we get to see them inside the stadium on Saturdays, and We get to see them play games, and that's exciting. But it's what they deal with during the week, the weight room, the meeting room, the trade where they eat. All that stuff matters to get them ready to compete at the highest level. This is James, your favorite stadium guy.
Okay. First of all, good job cutting that video, Jake.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that video. Sorry.
Second of all, well, at least we now know that James is not winning the contest, because with Fat Jesus in this contest, and again, I haven't seen any of these videos. James, that video is, man, that was amazing. I mean, you've set a really low bar for victory here. So coming up in an hour in 10 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Of course, the IPF guru, James, stays on brand.
I mean,
right? Is Fat Jesus either fat or Jesus? Both. He's PHAT fat, though. James, I am saddened that you did not show West Virginia's new burning couch, IPF.
Give them 5 seconds, 10 seconds of Fat Jesus's video, just for contrast.
Do I have to?
You know, it's your show. It's the Monty Show, but just contrast here.
Hey, I'm here to do a short video for the Mooney Show.
Okay, how about a little TJ Beck teaser?
Well, hey guys, this is TJ Beck doing this for the Monty Show.
See? Maury?
Ace Bailey workout in Utah.
I'm going to say TJ Beck looks ripped in that video. Now, you came in here raving about TJ Beck today.
Listen, what did I say about these videos? What did I say last week? What did I say? I said, hey, I want to take, but there's also a lot within it, right? Like entertainment value, like making people laugh, having fun with it. Like, so you can already see the contrast.
The Mooney Show.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm probably going with Fat Jesus, because that right there, Reverend Mooney and son, exactly right. See, this is what it's supposed to happen.
Talking about, dude.
Now, okay, here we are, guys. Bucky's IPF time. Live in the rectory. Coming in hot. Oh, James. The stadium guy, James, in the rectory. Jake, you said the video had to be football related.
I don't believe I said
I don't believe
relatable.
we said that.
I said it had to be, you had to have a take.
That's right. These videos aren't going to disappoint. I can't wait. They're not going to disappoint. Is it a full moon or exactly? Toot Pants, the stadium guy, James, you haven't seen the Kansas stadium because it doesn't exist yet. Exactly. All right, let's get to Big 12 Media Day. Hour and 10 minutes away from paying off those videos, and I am excited about that. I want to go to this Kyle Whittingham comment because I think this is shocking. You guys, I know we've talked all about professional football, and essentially that's what college has become. I am an advocate for paying these players, making them employees, whatever it is you want to say. You're paying them tens of millions of dollars now. Are they not employees? Okay, whatever. We can argue about that. But the idea that these young people are going to leave home and not get an education is shocking to me. It is wrong. It is not what we should be about. I am telling you, and I have talked about this openly on this show. My belief is today, your education has an opportunity to make you. Without one, will it break you? It won't. But if you are somebody that's going to be collecting a paycheck or running a business, your education matters. And 99.9% of kids who play college football will never play in the National Football League. And I will continue to say, life after college sports has to be important. Yet it seems like we've gotten to a place, and this Kyle Whittingham comment is terrifying to me, because I feel like we've gotten to a place where nobody gives a rat's ass about the value of an education, and nobody seems to care that when you go to an institution like the University of Utah, where education comes at a premium and the quality of that education is substantial, nobody seems to care that the kid who barely qualified to get into Utah will not have a life after Utah unless they get an education. Because I know that all we care about is football. But if you think about the universities that we're talking about, how much does it matter to have a Utah MBA on your resume? It means a lot. How much does it matter to say you graduated from the Marriott School of Business at BYU? It means a lot. How much does it matter to say Baylor? How much does it matter to say UT Austin? How much does it matter to say the finer institutions in this country that also happen to play football at USC or Oregon, where educations are phenomenal? How much does that matter? Apparently, it doesn't matter a whole lot, because when you look at Kyle Whittingham's comments and you look at what he told Yahoo Sports, this is shocking and disappointing to me. Kyle Whittingham, the head coach at Utah, I think you may even see the day in the not too distant future where players don't have to go to school if they don't want to. It'll be a true minor league. I think that's coming. It's sad to say. You're damn right it's sad to say, because we're going back to this place in time that I have talked about for 20 years about college athletics, where the education doesn't matter as long as the kid can return a kick. And I'm telling you, we're doing these kids a disservice if we do not make them go to class and get some sort of degree. What are they even doing there if they're not going to school? I think it matters, and it is incredibly disappointing to me that I don't feel like anybody cares about the value of that education after football.
Yeah, well, I think that went out the door when the financial system changed. I mean, the measuring stick for a kid's value used to be, hey, is this kid a full ride scholarship or is this kid a partial? Right? That used to be the measuring stick. And now the measuring stick is, okay, well, how much NIL is this kid getting? Is this a $1 million NIL player, or is this a couple 100,000? Like, what are we talking about? That's the new measuring stick. And so what's difficult is that, the education portion, obviously is not prioritized as much. It's more of a,
clearly,
it's more of a just a requirement because you're playing college football, because we don't have another league or another outlet for these kids who are great football players to go and play to get to the NFL. And again, it's the LaMelo Ball path, right? I mean, this is why everyone was so up in arms about it, because LaMelo Ball, is high school, then, doesn't really, college didn't really work out for him. So he goes to Lithuania of all places and does that for a year. That was a debacle. And then, one thing leads to another and he figures it out. But, football players don't have that opportunity. And so, I mean, hell, what were we just talking about yesterday with Retzloff, right? Hey, well, can this kid transfer? What's the deal because he's graduated already? So, it's two different conversations. If you take it seriously and you just knock your grades out of the park and you just handle it, then the education portion kind of takes care of itself. It's not even that big a deal. But there are a lot of kids who are elite football players, but maybe are not elite scholars. And that's where I think when you talk about, hey, well, how do we have a good football program at our school? Well, hey, move the sticks on, what gets into this school academically and what doesn't. And I think that's why Kyle Whittingham is talking about this, because when you start talking about private equity and all this money coming into the sport, you got to find a way to acquire players.
And I think we are at a point in time where if you're somebody in the job market, and I see this on a daily basis, if you're somebody that's in the job market and you want to be a mid-cap COO, you want to be a director of marketing and advertising, whatever it is, a product manager, a data scientist, whatever, you're competing with not 20, not 2,000, not 20,000, hundreds of thousands of applicants in your same industry. And a lot of times you're invisible. And if you're trying to be a data scientist, which are huge right now, Do you understand how important that college degree and certificate are? Do you understand the difference between a bachelor's and an MBA? If you want to be a sales director at a company, let's say, and you want to be an operator of a company and you have a bachelor's, but the guy next to you competing for the same job has an MBA, or if you don't have a degree at all, maybe you just have a certificate and you're standing next to somebody with a bachelor's, do you know how much of a disadvantage you're at? And we have a position for you where you need to play football, basketball, rugby, whatever. And we're going to give you a free education from now until your 30th birthday, whatever it is. When you're done playing in the NFL even, and I don't know how many people realize this, they can go back and get their degrees. How many do that? Not many. Not many. So if we're going to just say you don't have to go to school, I'm telling you this will lead to tragedy. This will lead to nothing good will come of this. If you tell, and this is particularly from disadvantaged communities, there's no question about it. If you're a young black man in the inner city and your whole life is college basketball, college football, maybe you're an elite baseball player, and I said to you, hey, you can go to pick your college, Notre Dame, and you don't have to go to class. You can play basketball. You can play football, hockey. You think I'm going to class? I'm not going to class. I hated class in high school. What makes you think I'm going to go to class in college if you tell me I don't have to? The answer is going to be almost never. There's going to be a certain sect based on where did you grow up? What kind of household you grow up in? What zip code did you grow up in? What are the geoeconomic scenarios in those zip codes? What is your high school value? Does your high school value high test scores and high performance in science and math? You're not opting out of your college classes because you're already prepared for them. But how many high schools in the city of Chicago are you seeing a value placed on high math and high science scores for high level performing athletes? Because I'm telling you now, I didn't do my homework. I didn't take a lot of tests in high school. I kid you not. I had girlfriends and friends who took tests for me, wrote papers for me, did homework for me. Dude, I couldn't add 2 + 2. I had no desire to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a girlfriend in high school who was a math wizard. She did every worksheet for me. She prepped me for every test I had to take.
And it was easy for her.
Yes. And I had no desire to learn. Dude, I didn't even want to learn geometry. My basketball coach was my geometry teacher. That cat used to teach me. I am not kidding. We would be talking about geometry while I was practicing free throws. I was that uninterested in geometry. He would be working with me. I'd stay after basketball practice because I wouldn't do well on tests because I didn't do the homework. And that was 40 years ago. What do you think is going to happen now if you say to a kid, hey, here's $10 million. You're an elite player. Okay, forget that kid. Hey, here's $100,000. You're a mid-level running back, probably a third stringer.
Just got the most money you've ever seen in your life.
Do you want to go to class? No. I'm going to kick back, lift weights, and play video games. Then I'm going to go to practice. I'm going to smash, and then I'm going to go lift weights and go to bed. I'm not going to class. And the thing is, we all want to sit here and we want to talk about the virtue of education. And it actually, again, we've gone full circle now from it doesn't matter, go be a social media influencer, to, oh shit, look at the inflation, to, hey, look at the job market. There's a ton of people without work and they're all applying. And look how many of them have college degrees and how many don't. They're getting the jobs and they're not. It's as simple as that. So when we go through this in 10 years, after Jimmy, the third string running back, isn't playing in the NFL, the UFL, the CFL, your mom's FL, and he's got to figure out how to make a paycheck because he's got kids and a wife. You think it's hard to buy a house now? Go try to find a job without a college degree, without any coursework or grades, and you have no other way to make money. Do you want to go back to college? I'm going to say you probably do. I'm going to say you probably do. And again, I know a lot of people can't relate to this, but I am telling you, the underprivileged college athlete, that's who I'm talking about. Because those are the people that need the education the most. They need it desperately the most. And they're the people who will easily turn it down.
Yeah.
Because that's how we do in this country.
Yeah, that's the culture.
There's no doubt about it in my mind. I think it is a huge problem. Delaric for $10. To prevent this, make only 4 years of eligibility. You get the 5th year if you are willing to graduate in 1 semester, and a 6th year if you graduate and start masters or what's levels next. I think you could absolutely tie eligibility to education. And I've never understood why we don't do that. Hey, if you're an MBA candidate and you're going to be in school for a minimum of 6 years, I don't understand why you can't play all 6 years. I agree with that 100%. Phil Venzer, what's the latest? He's been a member for 16 months. What's the latest on the Utah State Title IX violations? They have dramatically changed their operation and are now said to be 100% in compliance. Utah State had a massive Title IX scandal and turned over a bunch of football coaches and staff, and that was not a pretty situation. But they are in compliance. Conundrum. That was an accident. I got a comment dump. I did not mean to click on your comment. Bachelor's degree is a waste of money. No. If you only get a bachelor's degree, okay, it depends on what you want to do with yourself. If you want to be a doctor, is a bachelor's degree going to get it done? You want to be a lawyer? I'm going to say it's not. You want to run a company and be a CEO? I'm going to say it's not. A bachelor's degree is plenty. It just depends on what you want to do. No education is a waste of money. None whatsoever. And I'll tell you, if I could go back in time, I'd probably go to law school. I would go to law school. And I'm telling you, it's not a waste of time. Hope they take EVH unreleased jams and add vocals. You guys are still on the music grind, if you will.
I guess so.
I think music is amazing. San Diego State Glenn says, preach, Monty. I don't mean to be preachy about it, but I think there's so many kids who don't understand the decisions you make when when you make a decision at 17 about your education, it's going to impact the rest of your life. When you decide not to go to college, you just chose a path that is different. Is it more difficult? Not for everybody, because college isn't for everybody. Not everyone belongs on a huge college campus, going from classroom to classroom. That's not for everybody. When you decide, because one of the smartest things I ever came up with was on the radio in San Francisco when I said, what you choose to do with your education and the decision you make as a 17-year-old on your education is no different than the 17-year-old who pulls out a gun and shoots somebody. Because you just made decisions that sent your life in a direction. The 17-year-old is probably going to prison for a significant number of years. Not the rest of their life, because they're not going to be charged as an adult in all likelihood. Right? They're probably going to jail for 10 years. But if you decide you want to go get an MBA, a master's in business, how many years of your life did you just dedicate? Well, you're going to 4-year undergrad. You're probably going to 3-year MBA. You're probably going to do some business internships. And in all likelihood, depending on your socioeconomic background, you're probably in debt. So you just gave yourself a decade of time. Now, those are two dramatically different directions.
Mm-hmm.
But you just altered the first 10 years of your adulthood on a decision you made as a 17-year-old who's doesn't have a fully developed brain. Let that sink in. Because I think there's a lot of kids who don't understand why. I have no idea what I want to be. How many kids can you walk up to at 17 years old and say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a data scientist and I want a they're not going to know the answer to that. So the right answer for a lot of 17-year-olds is, well, why don't you go to junior college for 2 years, get your undergrad knocked out, most of it, get your core classes knocked out, and then figure it out in those 2 years. That's the exact right answer for a large majority of kids who don't even know what junior college is.
Or why it's valuable.
Right? So I'm just telling you that when you go and you make these decisions to go play college football, basketball, hockey, whatever, that's a really strong position for you in 10 years. You're going to make and again, throw out the best college athletes and throw out the worst. I'm talking about the ones who make up the lettuce and tomato, not the meat, the lettuce and tomato, the second tier player who's not going to the NFL. That guy in 10 years is going to wish he had made better decisions. That's all I'm saying. And I just don't think you can do that. I really don't think you can do that. Let's see. Harry says, best to you get a 55 kicked for 4 years and getting kicked for the rest of your life because you didn't major in STEM business. Well, what you major in is important as well. GTI Brandon, as someone who took a decade off and on school to get their undergrad, it was amazing how many more doors opened to my career because of that piece of paper. That's all it is, too. Because I'm telling you now, just because you have an MBA or a master's degree does not make you a better employee.
It's all about your ability to apply it.
Yeah, it does not make you a better employee. But man, that piece of paper, as GTI said, will open some doors for you. There's no doubt about that. You put that little line on your LinkedIn profile, that'll open some doors for you. There is no doubt about it. No doubt. Mike, you're spot on. We do need more electricians, plumbers, welders, and other blue collar workers, and there's nothing wrong with that. Look at the workforce changing in labor right now. You think we need framers and roofers and builders? Do you think we need? There is no question. We need more union electricians, union plumbers. We absolutely need pipe fitters. There's nothing wrong with being where your career has you on the tools. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how this country was built.
I want to say I saw a stat some time ago now that there are more. It was like in the last 5 years, there were more millionaires made in home service businesses than ever before or something. Like the home service industry is just
it's exactly
dominant,
right. That's exactly right. And not enough people are willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
I am telling you, I talk to people on a daily basis that own businesses. I bet you 5 times a week somebody will say to me, man, I wish I had gotten an MBA because this bookkeeping thing's a real bitch. Right? Like you determine your success and failure in this life. But you also have a bunch of opportunities to grease the skids. And if you're a professional level athlete, which means if you're a high school athlete who is the best at his high school, you have a chance to get a free education. And if Kyle Whittingham is right, and we're willing to say, you don't have to get that education, just play football. That's a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake. Loaner phone, we just need productive adults. Starts with choosing a path forward, whatever that is. Exactly right. Just put one foot in front of the other. And Donuts, you see that ex-NHL player smash the drunk golfer? Can we please stop throwing hands on golf courses? I will never understand that. I will never understand it. I have had an argument on a golf course before. Certainly. You will never. I'm a big dude. You're never going to see me punch somebody in the face. There are certain circumstances that would make that happen, but you're never going to see it. I don't understand why we see guys like there was a TikTok video going around, I don't know, maybe a year ago of one single player was playing in a group of 3, and the group of 3 started picking on this guy. And the guy was with his girlfriend. The girlfriend started filming the guy standing on the tee because he had a really awkward tee shot. And the guy snapped, and he started hitting one of the three guys with his driver, and like really hit him right in on the knee, and then like went over to him and was yelling at him and hit him on the ribs with his, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then, of course, what's the last shot in the video? The guy in a police car being driven away. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know why people would ever do that. Zona Tucson, please, who tell you not to go to college don't have much going for them in life. But see, I don't necessarily agree with that. College is not for everyone. But I will tell you this, you need to go to junior college. You need to learn to read, to write, to math. You need basic skills. If you're somebody who doesn't want to sit in a classroom or doesn't want to build lifelong debt, dude, totally get it. I'm not judging you. You want to go build your business. You want to do e-commerce, and so many kids are doing e-commerce now. I'm here for it. Go learn how to balance a checkbook, which is to say, go learn how to reconcile a bank account. Go learn how to handle credit cards. Go learn how to administer a business. Go learn how to ingest data. Go learn the stuff you want to do. Because I don't believe that anybody, whether it's taking a course online, going to a trade school, a vocational school, I don't care what it is. Everybody needs education. You have to learn how to do something because you're not doing nothing. It is as simple as that. And junior college is free in California with a few conditions. That's exactly right. Trade schools are more likely to get you a better start in life. Don't even disagree with that. But specific to this Kyle Whittingham quote, where he's talking about major college football players having the option to not go to class. Like if you're at, in this case, the University of Utah, and they say, yeah, you don't have to go to class. Do you understand the caliber of education that you're walking away from? University of Utah is a hell of a school. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, I just think that Witt's point is that the money just doesn't care. You know, the money, the folks with the money just don't care.
Truth. I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with Calford giving 20 Monty Show memberships.
Nice.
Let's go, baby. Appreciate that, Calford. Always
Again,
good to
if
see
you're
you,
not a
my
member,
friend.
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, if you're not a member at this point, you're trying not to be a member.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't have any idea why you wouldn't be a member at this point. I mean, what are we even talking about? The jackass bit with air horns on the golf course. Oh, yes. My God. Where the guy turned around and teed up a ball in that. Crazy. But Monty, it's college or trade school, your choice, people. If my kid came to me and Jake came to me and said, I don't want to go to, I don't have any desire to go to college. I want to snowboard. Hey, we set up a system where he went to junior college, learned how to be a chef, and went and snowboarded. Great, go do it. And he did. And you made a living as a chef for a long time. That's great.
Yeah.
If you come to me and say, I'm not here for college, man, I want nothing to do with trigonometry. Totally get it.
Yeah, I think the problem we run into, and again, we need to specify, we're having two different conversations, in terms of like who needs school and who doesn't.
Yes.
Like elite college athlete doesn't necessarily need school because they have pro sports as an option. But I agree with you that the majority of kids, one, are not going to play college athletics. One. Two, the kids that do play college athletics are not good enough to even start on that team. They're just there as a practice squad guy or depth. Like, that's their contribution. They're there for the culture. They want to pad up with their guys. Like, totally get it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
So you need to be real specific that there's two types of athletes on a football team, let's say. There is the elite student that happens to be a kicker or an offensive lineman or something. And then there is the elite athlete that just has to do the class stuff to be able to play. And I think that's the difference, is that private equity and the money coming into the sport is only focused on the athlete first, just get by in the classroom guy. And you're not focused on the student that excels that happens to love playing football, even though they know that they'll never play in the NFL because they're just simply not good enough. And that's where I'm saying we're having two different conversations, because I didn't go to a big time college because I didn't want to get in big debt, because I knew I just wasn't passionate about the classroom. I hated class. I hated school. I wanted to play baseball and have fun and do that part of life. Like, I didn't run from that. And I think, you talk about e-commerce and all these different businesses. The other hard part with this is there are so many ways to make a living without a degree now, that it's like, hey, like, yes, school has value for certain lines of work. I agree. Business, like CEO level stuff, doctors, lawyers, like white collar stuff for the most part, you're going to need a degree. Like, yes, I agree. We need more electricians and stuff, but don't kid yourself. Don't sit here and comment that, oh, well, hey, if someone's telling you not to go to college, they don't have anything going for them. That's not true.
Yeah.
There are I'm telling you, go look at the numbers. Like, this may shock you. There are millions of millionaires in our country who don't have a degree because they have business acumen, and they've learned that they can go out and add skills to their bag, if you will, and they can do that without taking on the debt.
Yeah, and I agree with Toot. If we're giving you an education for free and you say no, you're telling me who you are. Like, that just tells me.
I agree with that.
You don't know who you are. You don't know what you have. I just think at this age that we're talking about, the 18 to 20-year-old makes so many choices that are going to help or hurt them down the line.
Does Cooper Flagg finish his degree?
And Duke is a great example. I would give a left leg to go to Duke Law for free, right? And I don't know if will Cooper Flagg ever want for anything.
No.
Probably not.
Like, think about it. He's going to be a billionaire. You need to understand that. With the trajectory he's on, with where the cap is going, with all of that, that dude, by the time his career is over, it's already been projected, you can go read about it, is projected on NBA earnings to reach $1 billion, which is an insane number. So the question is not whether the degree matters or not. The question is whether these kids like Cooper value it. To which I say, for kids like Cooper, it doesn't matter, because the guy's going to be richer than he could ever want to be.
Yeah,
he doesn't need it.
I hope people understand we're not talking about the Cooper Flaggs.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Arch Mannings. We're talking about the guy whose name you don't know, who's fifth string at left tackle. We're talking about the practice squad linebacker who's never going to the league.
Yeah.
Who's never getting an NIL deal. That's who we're talking about. If I said to you, hey, eighth string water boy, do you want a free education? And your answer is no. I just don't think you should be here. I don't think you should be here. I just think that it's one of those things where we have to find a way to keep the education in college sports.
And I really think that, like, football is probably one of the poorest examples of this conversation because of the nature of the sport, right? Like, a lot of kids can't even really play it at the college level because they're not physically gifted enough to play it at the college level. But, like, look at non-contact sports. Like, look at golf. Look at the sports that have lower contact rates. And what you will find is that those kids are definitely invested in their education because they know, hey, like, I'm going to be here all 4 years. Like, we love to just forget about this. Football players typically are only at school 3 years. The ones that are NFL caliber, they're only there 3 years. But the kids, like Jake Retzloff, is a really good example of this just because he's a recent story, right? But he's someone that before the lawsuit happened was on a trajectory to not be in college for more than 4 years. Hey, I'm going to graduate early. I'm going to go to the NFL. And then this thing happened. But if you look at it, he's a really good example. He was like, hey, I'm going to get done with my classroom early so that my last year of college football can be all about college football. So if you look at other sports, though, like golfers, or, I mean, there's a million other sports, soccer players, whatever, right? The whole point is, though, most of those kids are going to go to class because they're not going to make football money. They don't make enough money to say, here's the bird, I'm not going to class, is what it is. So most college athletes go to class. They take it seriously. They want the education. I think what Witt is getting at, though, is that in football, because he's a football coach, what he's seeing is, there's more and more money coming in. The pressure to win is higher than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And again, Witt's a guy that's on the precipice of being done coaching major college football. I'm sure he'll always be around football, but he's on the precipice of being done at doing it as his full-time job. Like, this guy knows what it used to be versus what it is now. So it doesn't surprise me that he's sitting here saying, like college football is going to an NFL minor league model. Like, that's where it's headed. And I don't disagree. And it doesn't behoove any of the big wigs to have these kids go to class. It doesn't.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Golf at San Diego State. Those kids win PGA majors, dude. You want to give me golf? Do it. Aaron freaking Wilson, a member for 27 months.
Bro.
On the day that we're doing videos. On the day that we are rolling out a video.
Yeah, Lopes Fan Gabe reached out to you. You were supposed to be one of our video entries. But
yeah, Lopes Fan Gabe was calling you out the other day about how great your videos were back in the day. Howdy, y'all. Hope y'all doing well. Great show today. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
And your well-paid Texas Tech Red Raiders. Don't forget, coming up here in about 36 minutes, we're going to roll out our video finalists for the $100 Amazon gift card. But Aaron Wilson, good to see you, my guy. Been too long. He says, wreck 'em.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you are doing well. Amazing. He says, what? Yeah, we were talking about you.
Yeah, bro.
Aaron, you're missed on this
Check your
show.
Instagram DMs.
You are missed on this show. There is no doubt.
Dude, Lopes Fan Gabe sent me a screenshot. He DM'd you and told you that he was gifting, because he won. Lopes Fan Gabe last week won a video entry, but wanted to gift that video entry to you. But I don't think that message got through to you. Clearly, it didn't get through to you.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Real quick, let's work in this Deion Sanders thing as well, because Deion Sanders had something very interesting to say when he said, we need a salary cap.
I wish it was a cap. Like the top of the line player makes this, and if you're not that type of guy, you're not going to make that. That's what the NFL does. So the problem is you got a guy that's not that darn good, but he could go to another school and they give him $500,000. And you can't compete with that. That don't make sense. And you're talking about equality, not equality, like equal. I guess it's equality. And all you have to do is look at the playoffs and see what those teams spent. And you understand darn near why they're in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to compete with somebody who's giving $25, $30 million to a darn freshman class.
Right.
It's crazy. We're not complaining because all these coaches up here can coach their butts off and given the right opportunity with the right players and play here and there, you'll be there. But it's what's going on right now don't make sense.
Is he right? I don't know is the answer. I agree with him that championships are not won by your best players. I think championships are won by quality depth, your 3s and 4s. And those are the guys that are hardest to keep. It is most difficult. Is every quarterback in demand every single year? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, they are. But are we talking about a situation where your third string left tackle is getting paid $500,000 to go to at Texas Tech? Yes. And are we talking about how Texas Tech is outspending everybody in this conference? Yes. Would a salary cap fix the problems in the Big 12? Absolutely not. Because you're not committed to winning in Waco and Stillwater. You're not committed to doing everything you can do to have 3 quality left tackles that other schools want.
Well, and I think the other problem that Deion hasn't addressed there is the number of schools, right? I mean, you would have to get, you would have to get at a minimum the power conferences in every school in them to agree to whatever that salary cap number would be.
And I think they would do it. I think they would do it. And I am curious to see if that would ever work. Because I agree that it is very difficult to to say to somebody at a Colorado where money's not endless, hey kid, why don't we give you a $500,000 raise? Why don't you come over here and you can be our number 2 left tackle. And we're going to give you good money. Chicks are plentiful in West Texas. Let's get after it. Right? See, and you don't have to go to class either. Pay $1 million. You don't have to even go to class.
Yeah, and I think, the thing that like Deion alludes to there is like, what kind of player are you? And I think that's a dangerous question, because now we're getting into ranking players, like what, obviously you're going to have different tiers. I mean, we've already got the star rating system, which I think is absolute baloney. I think, great, Alabama's got the most 5-star kids. That's not the reason they're the best. The reason they're the best is because they turn 3 stars into 5 stars more regularly than you do.
And they make sure that you perform as a 5-star.
Yeah. So like, I think that this concept of like, hey, what kind of player are you, or how good are you? That's really hard to define. I mean, how do you across positions compare players? I mean, how do you say, yeah, you're a better offensive lineman than he is a safety?
And the other part of this is, how do you avoid lawsuits off of putting in a salary cap? Oh, because you would have to have a collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, and I agree. I can't remember who said it. It was today I think one of the coaches said it, of like, how do you have a player making millions who's not employed, who's not technically employed?
They're an employee. I mean, whether you want them to be or not.
But I think what the point is like, on paper, they're not technically employees. I agree. You're in the program, you're working every day, like, you behave like an employee, but on paper, from a business IRS standpoint, you're not an employee. And that's the hard part with college football. So again, the challenge still remains. What nobody has been able to figure out is, how do you make this thing run smooth the way the NFL does, without it just simply being a minor league NFL model? Because I agree, part of the greatness of the product is that you're not the NFL. That we get Appy State versus Alabama, and we get, Abilene versus Tech, and like, it's this crazy dynamic, and you all know what I'm talking about. You get these wild happenings in college football in a way that we never see at the NFL level. You just don't see it. Those guys are too good at what they do. Like I guess maybe the best way to say it is the amateurism of it. Like hey, I was up till 1 a.m. studying because I had to be. So that means I was tired on this play and made a mental mistake. Like, you don't get that in the NFL. That just simply doesn't happen.
Totally agree.
So that's why I'm saying, like, it's not as easy as like, oh, well, like with what Witt is saying, like, sure, yeah, maybe at some point the classroom gets alleviated, but again, these schools are educational institutions first. You got to remember that, right? Like, why were athletic departments created? Let's go back to the Genesis in the college football Bible, if you will. Why were athletic departments created? To help enrollment on the education side.
Yeah.
So let's keep this in perspective. This is not a University of Utah problem. The University of Utah and every other school is doing just fine in academics. This is just a problem of, hey, athletics is bleeding us for millions of dollars. We would like to fix that and win some football games. How can we do that? That's all this is. And I think we lose sight of that sometimes. We feel like the world is ending because they can't figure out how to pay kids the right way.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fine.
Arizona Sun Salad, not by definition. Unilateral salary cap is antitrust. Okay. So what do you mean by antitrust? Because the whole point of an antitrust exemption is to create competition, level, fair competition. So if the P4, when they will eventually form this new entity that I've told you about, that will be antitrust exempt, the whole point of, and I want to say, I've looked at the definition of antitrust a million times. It quite literally is a set of rules that creates equal competition. That's the point of antitrust exemptions. And when you look at what a salary cap in the power conferences would do, I would create competition, foster competition. And that's what you want because it makes it less available to say, hey, I'll give you 500,000 more than they're giving you. That's what, and you can do that, but that's going to, now if you give the third string offensive lineman $500,000, that's $500,000 that's gone somewhere else. Right? So you're creating competition, fostering a level playing field. So I don't necessarily believe that it's antitrust. That I don't. Loner phone question: are you guys going back to mornings? No. Not at all. No chance. Look up the definition of an employee. Paying taxes doesn't make you an employee. It doesn't. You guys, you're trying to have like a, hey, Jimmy in accounting's an employee conversation. That doesn't exist in professional sports. That doesn't exist. They're not living in your world. They're not living in the human resource director's manual. This is a completely different way of life. And we're not done forming the existence. Look how many lawsuits there are on the house settlement.
And nobody said them paying taxes makes them an employee.
Yeah, paying taxes doesn't make you an employee. I think when you look at college football players, college athletes in general, my belief they are an employee. What the definition of an employee at that level is, I don't know, because I don't believe there's a definition in that level. We've never had this kind of situation. So it's very difficult to discern what an employee at this level and rate would be. That's the biggest issue. And I don't think it is an issue of should it be, or it just isn't. You know, Gumby says, I pay sales tax, therefore I'm an employee of the IRS. That's correct. That's correct. You know, Aaron Wilson for $2. He says, video submitted.
Yes, I have it.
Are you going to upload it?
I don't know. Should we allow a late entry for Aaron Wilson?
Sure. It's Aaron Wilson. Any video Aaron Wilson submits is a good video.
It's been a long time.
I would agree. All right. Real quick before we get to the videos. Have you guys seen this Livy Dunn Babe Ruth thing? Do you guys know who Livy Dunn is?
Have you followed the Livy Dunn, Paul Skeens, experience, if you will? They have been, I would say they are the next
Swelsey, bro.
Yeah, I would say that they're not on that level, but I would say that they're up that alley.
Well, as soon as Paul Skeens gets traded to the Yankees,
I just don't know what the Pirates are waiting for, dude. You're wasting them. It is a crime against baseball. I'm not joking. You are wasting this guy. He typically gives you 90 to 105.
Are you wasting him or are you wasting Livy Dunn?
No, she's not being wasted.
Because my vote would be you're wasting Livy Dunn. She is
gorgeous. Very talented.
Are you out of your mind? Livy Dunn is everybody's All-American.
Incredible gymnast.
And we have no idea if she's a good gymnast or not. Don't know, and frankly, don't care. She is an incredible gymnast, though. And she wanted to buy Babe Ruth's apartment, his old apartment. Good old Livy Dunn. Let me move into Babe Ruth's apartment. Okay, Livy, it's a free country. Why don't you do that?
A few months ago, I decided I was going to make my first real estate purchase, which is so exciting, and I was going to get an apartment in New York City. But the gag was, it was Babe Ruth's apartment. So naturally, I'm telling everybody, I'm excited. I was going to buy it, and I was going to pay with cash. I wanted this apartment bad. It got to the point where the realtor was so confident. Paul and I went. So a few months ago, I decided I was going to make my first real estate purchase, which is so exciting, and I was going to get an apartment in New York City. But the gag was, it was Babe Ruth's apartment. So naturally, I'm telling everybody, I'm excited. I was going to buy it, and I was going to pay with cash. I wanted this apartment.
Jake can't upload videos today. Listen, it's fine. The board at the condo for Babe Ruth's old apartment voted Livy Dunn out. They don't want Livy Dunn living in their building. Like, is this antitrust, Jake? Is she an employee of the building? Should
I don't
she
know.
sue?
I agree with what she said in the video. I don't know if they just didn't want, you know, a high profile personality in the building. You know, I really don't know. I don't know. I mean, you're talking about turning down an all cash offer for this New York City piece of real estate. Like I don't know. It clearly was not about the money. It very clearly was about the fact that it's Livy Dunn, and they didn't want whatever the perceived,
you don't want an influencer living in your building.
The perceived circus that she brings. But I have to say, I don't view her negatively. Like I don't view her as one of these, you know, super hot model former athletes, because she's graduated and retired from being a gymnast.
Yeah, she's now a full-on influencer.
Yeah, she's a full-on influencer now. So like I don't know. I'm surprised. I think that, you know, she's got plenty of money, clearly. Like, I don't know why
she's going to be Mrs. Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why this is such a problem. Like it feels like the people in the building got shorted on the Livy Dunn experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why. Yeah. Rock and rant. Livy never needs to leave the house to be happy, to be honest. You know. Valid question.
Dude, chill, bro.
Valid question. Valid question, man. You know, like, yeah, co-op denied. That's exactly right. I don't understand why you are the weakest link. Goodbye. I don't understand why they would not let her be there. That's crazy to me. And if Paul Skeens had an ownership stake in Babe Ruth's old apartment, that would be amazing. Right? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah. Why would you not want that?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Why would you not want that? Simple question, bro.
Yeah. I'm disappointed that you did Livy Dunn like that. Video submission time in 30 seconds after this from the Advocates.
When you've been injured in an accident, one thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The Advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
Yes, you do deserve an advocate at theadvocate.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. I tell you every day, man, when you've been in an accident, the Advocates operate with empathy and understanding because they've seen this. They've dealt with it. They've won this already. That's what makes them the best injury attorneys in the business. And the best part is it costs you nothing, not a penny out of pocket. Get to theadvocates.com where you can talk to an injury attorney live online, 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime. Did you get Aaron Wilson's video in?
Let me get it real quick. Let me upload it. Hang on 1 second.
That's it. No. Jake, he's got one job. All right, let me explain what we're doing. So, you know, last week we raised $1,000, more than $1,000, for hungry kids on a whim. We got an urgent message saying that the Murray Children's Pantry was fresh out of food for hungry kids. You guys came through. We raised over $1,000. We decided to have a video contest. Okay. The top couple of donations would be able to submit a video to the show. Well, it was a really tight race, right? It was close. So we had Oak State James, Maury Alvarez, Fat Jesus, and TJ Beck. Now, because he's the eldest member of the show, as he will tell you, why don't we start the video submission contest? Because you guys are going to vote. One of these videos will win $100 Amazon gift card during Prime Days, I would remind you. So let's start with Maury Alvarez.
Ace Bailey workout in Utah. As many of you know, Ace Bailey was very vocal in his willingness to hold out and not report to teams that he deemed undesirable destinations. Some people might think that Utah could be one of those undesirable teams, and this would be due to Ace's minimal scoring output in his Saturday debut during the Summer League. Now, we could look at this output in a couple of different ways. First, is he holding back because he doesn't want to be in Utah? Maybe. Again, he was very vocal in his pre-draft process. He told multiple outlets that he would not report if certain teams drafted him. But he did report. He did come. And it does seem that he has walked those statements back, and because he has told other outlets that he never considered declining to report to Utah. So it does look like he does want to be here. Could it be another reason? Could it be that he isn't ready for the step up in competition? I view this as doubtful. He has shown throughout his basketball career, not quite his NBA career, but his basketball career so far, that boy can that kid shoot the ball. And if you can make shots, you'll be able to make your way in the NBA for a while. Lastly, and this is the one I think that's most likely, is that in Ace's early NBA career, Utah and their coaching staff is having him focus mostly on defense. I come to this conclusion based on the fact that in his 25 minutes on Saturday, even though he only scored 3 for 13 with the 8 points, he did have 7 rebounds. Now, I know that might not seem like a lot, but some of those were in very crucial moments and came at points in the game that absolutely helped his team. So I think that the Utah coaching staff is having him focus on those aspects of his game where effort that are more effort based, like rebounds and defense. And I think that a lot of players that struggle, particularly early in their careers, it's because they don't have this extra thing to fall back on. They're focusing on their shots. And if their shots aren't falling, they're sunk. They can't do anything. So the Jazz having Ace focus on this aspect of his game will not only benefit him now, it'll benefit him in the long run, and throughout his career. So the question is, will Ace Bailey be the next John Stockton or Karl Malone, where his career is synonymous with his time in Utah and Salt Lake City? Or will he be the next in the very, very long line of top draft picks, where Salt Lake City has only had enough time to they became popular in Salt Lake, and then the management decided that they were going to trade him, or not pay him, or have ignorant, stupid fans, or fanemies. Yes, I'm going there, fanemies.
Oh, you hit the 3-minute mark. Okay. Hard take. Totally get it. I can respect that. 1 to 10, Jake, how would you rate it?
Okay, my rating for this video is I appreciate the effort, right? 1.
Yes.
I think I appreciate the take. You know what I mean? Like, what we asked for was a good sports take, but part of what this video is missing is the entertainment aspect, right? So you have to have fun with it. You have to have, it is the old adage in sports talk of like, you got to figure out how to get out, right? Get in, get out.
Get in, get out.
Get in, get out. Make it compelling, make it work, like that kind of thing. And that was the problem with this one more. I appreciate the effort. Definitely not a winner. But I think that's the biggest thing. I don't know if we're doing
1 through 10. Let's go 1 through 5. What would you rate this video?
1 through 5, I would probably rate the video, I'm
going 2.
Okay, 2 is rough.
Well, it felt long. It was 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't want to be mean.
Well, who's being mean? We're not being mean. It's not personal.
No, I'm just saying, okay, fine. 2 is fine. Sure. Okay, 1 through 5, I would say a 2 to 3 ranking is fine.
Are we sitting through another version of Oak State James? Or did we play that one already?
No, we played that one already.
Okay.
We played that one already.
Let's go to Fat Jesus, because this one, I am really looking forward to it. Hello.
Hello.
No. Now, Jake.
I don't know why it's not working.
All right, let me try. Let me try TJ Baggs.
Well, hey guys, this is TJ back doing this for the Monty Show. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I'm passionate about, which is the G6 and how they can raise more money. Well, I didn't know where to go with it. I don't know what the ideas are, so I reached out to someone very important to the Monty Show, and that's Oak State James. And Oak State James, as you know, comes up with great ideas such as, hey, when is Stanford and Cal going to go back to the Pac-12? Which is, quite frankly, never. But that's Oak State James for you. And I said, can you help me out with this, Oak State? And he said, yeah, absolutely. Some of you may know him by Oak State. There's other names we have him by. The stadium guy, James, the rectory director, the horny guy, James. He's all those things. So I asked him, I go, hey, what are you going to do? How do we do this? How do we get the G6 to get more money? And what he said to me was, well, let's focus on the stadiums because he's the stadium guy, James. At the G6 level, I go, well, what would you do? He goes, well, first off, I would need to have my car parked in the front row for every single G6 game out there. Even if I don't show up, I'm going to be like Elvis Presley. So, you know, he may or may not show up at Falcons games back when Jerry Glanville was coaching. We don't know what might or might not happen. So there he is. Theirs would be his parking place right there, like Bob Bucher in the front row. So there that is. I go, well, what else you got for me, James? He goes, well, you know what? I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to have a rectory on site. I go, a rectory? He goes, yes. I go, okay, fantastic. I go, where would you put it? He goes, I put it right here in the parking lot. People love the rectory. I go, the rectory? He goes, yeah, the rectory. I go, okay, fine. He goes, but don't have a front door. Put it in the rear. Put it in the rear of the rectory. So, all right, fine, James, we're going to do that. We're going to put it in the rear of the rectory. And I go, God, where'd you get your information? He goes, it's a hot thing over at Peto State. I talk to those guys all the time, and Peto State loves it in the rectory. He goes, it'll draw people in. I go, well, what else you got for me, James? They go, well, you know, I'm kind of horny. And I go, well, yeah, we knew that. He goes, why don't we film me with my hot wife that no one's ever seen in their life, you know, getting it on the car so we can do an OnlyFans and raise money that way for the stadiums and the G6 and go that route. And I go, you're kidding. I go, who are you going to have? You're going to be in there humping? They go, yeah. And we're going to film it. We're going to put it online. I go, well, who would you have film that? And he goes, well, there's only one person that truly is capable of doing that. And it's the meat gazer, a.k.a. Jakey Two Shakes. That's the guy that needs to do it right there. And I go, you're kidding. He goes, no, he's the king of bulge. He's the king of throttle. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. But, you know, these are the ideas that Oak State James comes up with, and I just have to convey them to everybody. So here it is. That is exactly what he wants to have happen. And you got to be honest with you. It may or may not work, but at the G6 level, what are you going to do? Anyway, appreciate everything, guys. Thanks for letting me come on here and just make a good spoof, you know, about something I'm not really, but kind of really passionate about. And that's it.
That's amazing. See, that's what these videos are supposed to be about. Put the entry to the rectory in the rear. Put it in. It's the rear. The rectory.
The rear.
The rectory.
Yes.
Oak State James. Jakey Two Shakes. That's what it's about.
Yes.
That's what it's about. That's what I'm saying. Jake, 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5. What would you call that?
That's a 4. It's not a 5 because it's not a sports take. It did not accomplish give me a sports take and make it funny. But I thought that was by far one of the most creative entries I've ever seen.
I'll give it a 4.5 because you're right. Maybe it's not a sports take.
Yeah.
All right, let's try. Here is Fat Jesus's video submission.
Hey, I'm here to do a short video for the Mooney Show, which I was told is a what? It's the Monty Show? Who's Monty? that guy, the guy from his basement who used to go to all the Diddy parties. Is he still doing stuff? Wow. Hey, is his son like still wearing salmon-colored shirts and pretending that he doesn't look like a poor man's Luka Doncic? Wow, I did not expect this. I didn't think those two guys were around anymore. But, well, hey, I have to give a couple of sports takes because I was told this has to be about sports. So I am definitely not going to be talking about some other things that are also super important to everybody else. And so, you know, let's just go ahead and get to the sports takes.
Hey, playa. I think it's time for the Suns to do what Matt Ishbia says he won't do, which is to trade Devin Booker. But I love Book. I would love to see him finish the Sun. And Monty, I know he's he's high on your spank bank, but he can't do it alone, you know? I mean, he can't. Hold on, I forgot I have to break up with my girlfriend. You know, he can't do it alone. You know, he can't have all sprinkles and no cake. You know, and with their draft picks coming up or lack of, and their salary cap, they can't put anybody around them. They just can't. And so I think they need to, you know, go Larry Nance trade and start all over.
All right, my second take is about baseball. Monty, I know that you have some perverse love affair with the sport, but I'm barely a casual because, truthfully, I just got bored with the antiquated traditions and everyone falling apart every time you try to change something about the sports. And here's one thing that I just find really laughable. Hey, coaches and managers, stop wearing player uniforms. You look foolish. You're not a player. And I know. Well, you know, at one time, they used to be player managers. Yes, used to be. At one time, we used to not let people of color play in the major leagues, and we also didn't let women vote. But the rest of the world has evolved, and now you are just a manager. And today, what you are is really just a grown-ass man wearing a matching outfit with stretchy pants to work every day.
I'm a man!
Imagine how it would look if other coaches in other sports did the same thing. It's maddening. Look, I got to go. Mrs. Monty's calling me, so you guys take care. Yeah. Hey, baby. Yeah. You know, I miss you too.
How many references? Blue cheese on a flat. He's got BDM in there.
Breaking up over text.
Breaking up over text. He put drops in there. He put graphics in there. That's a 5 if there ever was a 5.
And I agree with that. Because
yes.
Sports intertwined with references from the show, and it's funny to me. That's funny as hell.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. Now, how many people are stunned to see what Fat Jesus looks like? Bro, I've got a friend of mine who's like, dude, we don't do callers on this show.
Okay,
exactly
piss off,
right.
Piss off.
Exactly
Dude,
right.
Piss off. If you don't like it, turn it off. Dude, I don't care. We're doing it one time in like 5 years.
Yes.
People listen to this show every single day and are loyal. We're giving them an opportunity. If you don't like it, don't listen. Like, I don't care.
This is why I think it's actually funny. People are like, dude, no videos, no calls. Jesus is stoned to the bejesus. See what he did there? Okay, Meat Gazer got me. Actual competition, too long.
I agree. Okay, this is a talking point, Fat Jesus. I did have this feeling when I watched the video. You did need to land a plane a little sooner. You did need to get out just a little bit sooner.
Okay.
Like, I felt like I really loved that you came in hot with the wing and blue cheese thing, and I really thought that was a great start. Then you did the texting thing, and I was like, all right, cool. After that, we're pretty close. And then I feel like you felt the obligation to get a sports take in there. So when you did the BDM reference to the Suns, I was like, all right, you checked the sports box. And then when you went into the managerial thing, I was like, well, we didn't really. I agree with you for the record. 1. 2, you could have landed the plane a lot sooner. So for my money, you are the leader. You are the leader. Not a 5, though. Not a 5.
Yeah, I think. But now, to be fair, Oak State James had a lot of editing in his video.
He did.
Right?
He did.
And it was only 59 seconds.
Yes.
This is James, your favorite stadium guy. Let's talk facilities. Let's look at what's going on here at Texas. Brand new IPF coming soon. Baylor, look at what they did. TCU, Cincinnati, brand new IPF just opened up in May. And even here with Houston, their new football ops is going to be at the end of their stadium. And then, of course, they had a huge indoor practice facility. Now, why does this matter? Facilities matter because this is what the kids that play deal with on a daily basis. Now, we get to see them inside the stadium on Saturdays, and we get to see them play games, and that's exciting. But it's what they deal with during the week: the weight room, the meeting room, the trade where they eat. All that stuff matters to get them ready to compete at the highest level.
Okay.
You know, the place where they get together, the rectory, and they eat and stuff. James, good effort.
Pardon me.
Good effort. Now
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know quite. I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
So right now I have Fat Jesus in the lead. Although TJ Beck with the rectory rear entrance.
Okay. I believe that it's between Fat Jesus and TJ Beck.
Okay,
now,
but
here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Before we get to Aaron Wilson's video.
Yes.
I haven't watched it like I did the other ones. It is, I don't know if it has a sports take in it. It's very short. It's clearly on a whim.
But he's a legend.
He's a legend. And he's shown a propensity to be able to perform under pressure. So I'm curious to see what he's got for us here.
Going on, boys? Sorry for the absence. I've been running from the Lubbock Police Department. I've been embezzling funds from the Tech NIL deal. I've got millions now, boys. Don't worry. Oh, God. Oh. All right. Let me get away from them, boys. Wreck them.
See, so that's
the guy's a legend.
Dude, that's a reference to Buddy the Billionaire embezzling money to pay for the football team.
He's
that's
a legend.
Joke,
that's the winner right there. I'm telling you. I don't know how Aaron Wilson does it, but that's exactly what we needed. That right there is the essence of this video contest. Come in, drop a take, and get the hell out. Don't run into the phone pole. But my point is...
Otherwise, no, never mind. Go ahead. Yeah.
My point is, I think this is the winner.
Going on, boys? Sorry for the absence. I've been running from the Lubbock Police Department. I've been embezzling funds from the Tech NIL deal. I've got millions now, boys. Don't worry. Oh, God. Oh. All right. Let me get away from them, boys. Wreck them.
And he worked in a wreck-em. He worked in a wreck-em. Wreck-em. Pew, pew. How are you not? How are you? This, I don't know how you do it. Every time he hits a home run. Unedited, one take. He's a millionaire now. He's no longer a mailman because he embezzled money from the NIL Tech deal. He running from the cops, ran into a phone pole. That's my guy.
Yeah, I'm not running from the fact that Texas Tech has bought its alleged wins that it doesn't have yet.
Damn right. That's my dude, Aaron Wilson. I'm calling him the If only I had more time. My God, what could you do? Fat Jesus said that's fair. I'm telling you.
Yeah, dude. I thought you made a great video. My problem is that I just felt like it dragged. That's all. I felt like because what's the greatness of the Aaron Wilson video? The greatness is it's just a power-packed, smack you in the face, make you laugh, get out in under 25 seconds kind of video. And
okay, so the guy who said you shouldn't be playing videos, what are you doing? I don't know how he did it. Never heard of him. Give it to the mailman. That's what I'm saying.
See? So now all of a sudden, we don't have haters saying, oh, why are you playing videos, Monty? That's not the point, dude.
Guy's a legend.
The point is that if you get in and you get out and you have a strong take, you're good. And what is he basically doing with this take? Again, I used very loose terminology, and he frankly didn't even know the terminology. What did I say? You got to have a sports take.
My diagnosis, autism, greater than James' undiagnosed autism. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Listen, dude.
Wow.
Maury apparently at the end of his video, his daughter had a contribution at the end of his video.
The problem is the video
Here's
was
the problem.
like 17 minutes.
Yeah, the problem is, dude, is it drags on. So the problem is not that your take sucks. That's not what I'm saying.
Not at all.
The problem is it lacks entertainment value.
And it was a 3-minute limit.
The video was 3:57 was your total video.
Oh, is that what it? Because it stops at 3 minutes, man. That's the competition. Gumby, TJ equals Aaron greater than Fat Jesus, greater than James, greater than Maury. So your vote is for TJ Beck.
Okay, play his video one more time. And remember, you got to wind it back.
Yeah. Here's TJ Beck with the rear entry rectory.
Well, hey guys, this is TJ back doing this for the Monty Show. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I'm passionate about, which is the G6 and how they can raise more money. Well, I didn't know where to go with it. I don't know what the ideas are, so I reached out to someone very important to the Monty Show, and that's Oak State James. And Oak State James, as you know, comes up with great ideas such as, hey, when is Stanford and Cal going to go back to the Pac-12? Which is, quite frankly, never. Never. That's Oak State James for us. So can you help me out with this, Oak State? And he said, yeah, absolutely. Some of you may know him by Oak State. There's other names we have him by. The stadium guy, James, the rectory director, the horny guy, James. He's all those things. So I asked him, I go, hey, what are you going to do? How do we do this? How do we get the G6 to get more money? And what he said to me was, well, let's focus on the stadiums because he's the stadium guy, James, at the G6 level. I go, well, what would you do? He goes, well, first off, I would need to have my car parked in the front row for every single G6 game out there. Even if I don't show up, I'm going to be like Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley. So, you know, he may or may not show up at Falcons games back when Jerry Glanville was coaching. We don't know what might or might not happen. So there he is. Theirs would be his parking place right there, like Bob Bucher in the front row. So there that is. I go, well, what else you got for me, James? He goes, well, you know what? I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to have a rectory on site. I go, a rectory? He goes, yes. I go, okay, fantastic. I go, where would you put it? He goes, I put it right here in the parking lot. People love the rectory. I go, the rectory? He goes, yeah, the rectory. I go, okay, fine. He goes, but don't have a front door. Rectory. Put it in the rear. Put it in the rear of the rectory.
Dude, it's over.
Yeah.
I love it. I think
See,
it truly
for
is
me-
between TJ and Aaron Wilson, and I am team Aaron Wilson. Even though the rear rectory thing is amazing.
Well, and the other thing that's amazing about this is TJ clearly understands how to work in the references in a way that's funny. Because it would have been easy to just have all those references and have it be awkward. So, I mean, I'm good to give it to Aaron Wilson,
and
but
TJ's like, the rectory.
the other thing I think he deserves credit for is he did this without any graphics on the screen, which is what I think both of them share in common.
Yes.
And I appreciate the graphics, right? Graphics can be great. They can be a great additive. But the simplicity of both of these videos, to me, is why they hit so hard. He's literally standing in an office with a piece of paper pad and a Sharpie, and he's written the whole thing up and done it.
Yes.
So, I don't know, man. I would probably
Do You Even Live style.
Yeah, oh, totally. It's Don Mazzetti all over
Yes.
again. Yeah, it's back to the top all over again.
Yes.
Yeah. My vote would be TJ, but
Here, one more look at Aaron Wilson.
What's going on, boys? Sorry for the absence. I've been running from the Lubbock Police Department. I've been embezzling funds from the Tech NIL deal. I've got millions now, boys. Don't worry. Oh, God. All right. Let me get away from them, boys. Wreck them.
And how close is the spike?
okay. So what let's get a final consensus in the comments section.
All right, vote now. I am 100% Aaron Wilson. I don't even have a doubt about it. Toot Pants, Jesus and TJ and Aaron did all three. I don't disagree, right? I think that's exactly right. Gumby for the win, he says. Is Jake deducting points from Fat Jesus for including breakup of his girlfriend by text message?
No, I'm deducting points because it drags a little bit through the middle and people lose interest when it drags.
I think it drags a little bit.
It drags a little bit. Now, again, I like the takes, but it drags a little bit.
TJ and Aaron need to settle it. Arm wrestling. Yeah, how jacked is TJ back, by the way? Jacked. Unbelievable. Bobcat Josh says Aaron, TJ, Jesus, James, Maury.
Okay.
So he's Aaron. San Diego State says Fat Jesus. Okay, Jesus in the running.
He's getting some love.
Yep. Aaron says, see, I got lost here, by the way. What? You're amazing. Aaron Wilson, Shouty Wee. Toot Pants says Fat Jesus. Okay. Mailman. Couple of those were Freebird Long, good hell. And Aaron Wilson. I think Aaron Wilson's the winner. I do. Chad Carter. I don't even know what's going on, but I always go with Aaron. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and you're not wrong for that, dude.
Because Aaron Wilson's a gosh damn legend.
Okay.
And he's running outside in Texas. You know.
Fucking America.
And donuts. There was math in the PowerPoint, Gumby. You know, there was. I'm saying, I don't know. I think I'm Team Aaron Wilson.
Okay.
Who are you?
I mean, I would go TJ Beck because I think that he fulfilled more of the boxes. He checked more of the boxes.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. Sure. Okay. There you go.
That didn't settle anything.
No. No, we can go with Aaron. It's fine, dude. TJ, dude, I think you did the best job. In all seriousness, I do want to give credit where credit's due. I think TJ did the best job of doing what we asked. I think Aaron Wilson had 5 minutes to do this and created something that made everybody laugh. I think there's serious value to that.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
yeah.
Aaron. I'm going Aaron Wilson. My name's on the wall. I'm going Aaron Wilson.
Aaron, you need to DM me because I don't have your email address anymore. It's been so long. So please DM me. We'll get you taken care of.
What happened to your screen over there?
Oh, it's just battery's a little low. So I was turning it down a little bit.
No, you don't have power.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. I appreciate that. Okay. Couple of non-sports stories. You had what did you want to
AMC.
Oh, yes. Do you guys go to the movies anymore?
AMC is offering 50% off of Tuesday and Wednesday tickets. They basically, you have to be an AMC member. If you're a member, they're offering you 50% off of movie tickets Tuesday and Wednesday. And my only thing with this was, first of all, I am definitely not an AMC guy. Number one, I am a Cinemark guy all day. I love Cinemark. One.
Okay.
But two, I don't go to the movie on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's my problem.
I don't go to the movie ever.
See, in this I don't understand. Well, what do you mean you don't go to the movies ever?
I just don't go to the movies.
Why?
Because A, I think it's ridiculously expensive. B, I'd rather spend my money on fine dining or golf. C, I don't like COVID. D, I'd rather watch F1 on my couch, right? Like I've gotten out of the movie groove. I used to, back in the day when I lived in the house with all the baseball players, every Sunday night we were going to the movies. We had a standing appointment, a friends group. We went every night. Even in LA, when we lived back in LA, we used to go to the movies like pretty much every Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
But the movies have changed. So you can make it 50% off. I don't go to the movies anymore. Gumby, I don't go to the movies for new movies. I don't go to the movies for new movies. I go if old movies were showing just because. Went to see the Blues Brothers once. Good fun. Yeah, I just went to the Symphony to see Star Wars, and they played the soundtrack
that's your
live.
problem. That's a great point right there. And I'm not even criticizing you for this, but the Symphony costs more than the movies. Agreed?
Yes,
And
but I
you're
get
willing to do
world-class
that.
music. World-class music.
Yeah.
Toot Pants, Mission Impossible, only movie I've seen in theaters in the last 2 years. True. John Blackwelder, but you have to enter the AMC theater through the rectory.
Well,
I've heard that.
Definitely a consideration.
I've heard that.
Dude. It's definitely a consideration.
Yeah. Welcome to the nightmare. I haven't gone in forever, but went this past Saturday with my girlfriend and watched the new Jurassic Park Rebirth movie.
Did you like it?
How was it? Fat Jesus. Blue cheese costs you, dude. I'd like to thank my fans. It was a good battle. Let's embrace Aaron. No need for hostility. Let the competition unite us, not divide.
Yeah, dude.
Let me pour this blue cheese all over this wing.
You guys should know. And I think it's a really interesting thing. Fat Jesus has a YouTube channel, Summer of Steve, I believe it is. You can go and find that on YouTube. He's just started this venture. Go check him out. Funny guy. I thought you did a great job. I appreciate you being a great sport.
The editing was amazing. Fat Jesus wrote a Joe Biden book, which is on Amazon. Fat Jesus has a YouTube channel. Like, grow the community, man. Let's do it. Like, I'm all for it. San Diego State Glen went to a Cinemark theater in Monterey on Monday to see Jurassic Park. Nice experience.
I'm telling you, Cinemark is good stuff, dude.
Big Blue Horses, Megaplex to see F1 and Jurassic. Like, I like the Megaplex a lot. I like Megaplex a lot. Pirate Mitch, last movie I saw in the theater was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Haven't been back since that turd. Okay. FYI, I went through 7 wings for that take. Did you really? Good for you.
How do you swallow that much blue cheese?
Stop.
Dude? How do you do it? Like, is it you only had 7 takes because you enjoy it? That's what it is.
Shoot Pants, Fat Jesus for President 2028. I like it. Sounds like Fat Jesus is conceding a presidential election.
Yeah, seriously. Right.
Oak State James, I'm back. What did I miss? Your last place finish.
Yeah, you finished last, dude. I don't know how to break this to you. People really would have preferred a little more passion.
Or that you were at a Buc-ee's. Loner phone. Fat Jesus gave me a chub.
Dude, James.
Stay hard.
James, if we never do this again, because we're never doing it again, but if we ever do this again, go to a Buc-ee's and do it selfie style. That would have been better for you, dude.
Yeah, it was the looking up the nostrils with all the nose hair that, problematic.
Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
F that Jurassic Park T-Rex looking alien instead of a dino. I'm saying.
Right.
Rebirth was awesome. Nightmare says the 50th anniversary of Jaws is coming back to theaters. I'm here for it. So you guys like going to the theater. And maybe I'm just a germaphobe, but the idea of sitting in a packed theater makes me a little nervous. I think because of the cost, like Top Gun, you got to go see that in a theater. F1, you probably need to see it in a theater. The other ones, Jake doesn't go to movies with his dad anymore, so we used to go see all the Mission Impossible movies. He doesn't do that anymore. So I'll wait for Mission Impossible on digital, which I'm sure it already is, which brings me to my next point. The problem is I can get a new release movie like a week later on my TV. So why am I...
It's not the same, dude. It's not the same. I think that there are some movies that, that just it's just not the same watching it on a really nice home TV with just the sound bar. Like, I think because that's what most of us have, right? A really nice TV, you've probably got a sound bar, a nice setup. That's what most people have.
Yeah,
that's what I have.
Yeah,
and 9 days out of 10, it's great. But if I go to the movie. If I'm going to see a movie, it's not just because the movie is like incredible. I'm going to see the movie because I want the experience of being in the theater on a big screen. Like,
yeah, you want them to do something for you.
And that's what I think the movies do for you. The COVID thing, I think. Why do you take vaccines? Why? Like, I just think like you mean
microchips?
Well, yeah, we're all sheep. Like, to me, like I don't understand the difference between going to the symphony and going to the movie as far as that risk is concerned.
Yeah,
or like any other. I mean, I understand the concern, but like I think where there's so many places that were, like a ball game is different because you're outside, so that's kind of different.
You know what the other problem is? Can I be honest with you? We don't make new movies anymore. We just don't. Like F1 was a big partnership with Apple. Totally cool. But how many remakes do we need? Like every movie is version 7.
Mm-hmm.
This newest incarnation of that.
But I was thinking about that. It struck me that the remakes that are being done today are version 7 for you and for me, but not for people in their 20s.
Yeah, I don't need another Superman. Like, I'm looking at what's out. Superman, Jurassic Park, How to Train Your Dragon, Lilo and Stitch. Like, these are all Mission Impossible. These are all remakes, right? You look at F1. I don't know what the hell Elio is.
I don't know either.
28 years later, I think is another version of an older movie. Megan 2.0. I'm guessing there was a 1.0. I just think we don't, John, from the world of John Wick. Oh, you mean it's a John Wick movie? What? We don't make anything original. Kung Fu Panda 4. I didn't need Kung Fu Panda 2. Right? Like I didn't need Karate Kid Legends. Nobody fucking needed Karate Kid Legends. Who needed that movie? Do we really need that movie? But nobody writes scripts anymore. Nobody does that. It's why when we get things like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in the theater, I'm going to see it. Do I need another Spider-Man? Nah, I probably don't.
Yeah, but you're not really a Marvel guy. You know,
No.
you're not a superhero guy for the most part.
But I'm a Batman guy. I don't need another Batman movie. I'm a Superman guy. I sure as hell don't need another Superman movie. Right? That's the problem. We don't make original movies anymore. I think Hollywood is stuck in this loop where they don't want to take risks because they're worried about losing money. Well, that's the business you chose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the business you chose.
Yeah.
RJC loaner phone. I ordered meatball sub with mozzarella and pepperoni calzone. Getting it done now. Love that. Love that. Oak State James. What did you say up here? Oak State James. I hear what you're saying. Appreciate the constructive criticism. But can you admit that having a good IPF meeting, it's not the point.
That's not what we're talking about, James.
That's not the point. Nobody cares actually what you said in the video.
Dude, TJ's out here talking about buttholes in Honda Civics, and it's funny.
The Aaron Wilson video.
The Aaron Wilson video is hilarious. He's talking about embezzling money because Texas Tech is spending out of their ass. To get
and he
players.
Shot it one take on an iPhone running down an alley in Lubbock. And I love everything about it. Gumby says, I'd love to see Close Encounters of the Third Kind in a theater. Yes. Mapes, F1 was great. Rebirth was an idea board put in a blender and thrown on the screen. Okay. Glenn, well, most movie showings are not PAC these days. That's true. That's true. Alanis Morissette did naughty things in a theater. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that Jake doesn't get that joke. Loaner phone. James, weed whack that nose hair. Come on. Yes, sir. TJ, what do you mean when she was nice in Dogma? Okay. We don't have any good new movies these days. I agree. Toot pants. Big ass TV plus big ass subwoofer. I tend to agree with that.
Okay, so where did we come down on the whole video competition? Did we like this? Did we not like it? Clearly your friends hated it. But I think a lot of people in the comments section had fun with it.
I think once we got to TJ Beck and Fat Jesus, people were fans of it.
I feel like we need to change the format, though. I feel like it needs to be a 30-second limit.
I think it needs to be 60 seconds on an iPhone selfie style.
Okay.
Do what you do. And it has to be related to the show or to sports, period.
Yeah.
So we'll do another fundraiser next week. How about this? We'll do another fundraiser next Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll try to raise another $1,000 because we're working with the advocates and the road home to provide school clothes and basic necessities for kids going back to school. I'll do another $100 Amazon gift card on a selfie video, 60 seconds. Aaron Wilson style.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it. Some movies require theater popcorn. Truth. I told you guys last time I went to a movie, I don't even remember what the movie was. Mrs. Monty and I were in line and somebody DoorDashed soda and popcorn.
Well, hey, you're the guy advocating for watching movies at home. Maybe Buddy just wanted his movie popcorn.
Maybe. Bobcat Josh. Cell phones have ruined the theater experience for me every damn time. Somebody's always letting their damn phone ring. I agree. James says, but Superman with much better technology is going to be better than Superman with Christopher Reeves. Well,
yeah, and the way that was the whole thing with F1, right? Like they were shooting it like Top Gun, and like it's an immersive experience, and I agree that I'm not really into this new Superman that they're putting out. I do agree that, the preview for it and the commercial they're running for it, obviously it's shot differently, but I don't know. Like F1 draws me in because I'm a low-key F1 fan. I don't follow it every week.
Well, if F1 goes to Apple TV and it sounds like F1's moving to Apple TV next year, it's over.
On Apple, dude.
It's over.
But what I can tell you is I'm here for a movie shot like Top Gun in an F1 car. That's a lot of fun, dude. You talk about unique ideas. That's unique as hell. And if you go not to get too deep in it, but there was a lot of a lot written about this movie, like the fact that they used an F2 car, not an F1 car. The fact that, like the way they went about including the drivers who, are out there trying to make a living while they're trying to shoot a movie. Like, it's a cool thing that brought you in. So it wasn't just about the movie. But I agree, there are too many retreads. Gladiator 2 was okay. It was okay.
Okay.
It was okay. It did not have the drip and the swag that Russell had when he did his Gladiator. It just didn't.
And that's the problem with all these movies that are being remade. You can't compare one to the other.
What do you?
just
where are you
can't
at with? Are you bought into the Dune series? Have you enjoyed those movies? That's a no. That's a no.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. I like the Dune movies. I just feel like they're so long and forever. And I like the Dune movies. Hear me, my wife loves the Dune movies. I like the Dune movies. I'm a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of movies where I'm like, God damn. I walked out of Pineapple Express back in the day because it sucks so bad, right? But I think Gladiator is arguably one of the greatest movies of all time. I'd watch it 1,000 times. I like Tom Cruise movies. I liked the Top Gun 2 movie. We don't need Top Gun 3. I probably won't go. And see,
that to me felt forced. That, what's funny about that? I'm glad you brought that up. What did they say about that when it got announced on X? They said that the reason there's a Top Gun 3 is because the storyline is about Tom Cruise in an existential crisis. Oh, you mean it's Mission Impossible just with the Navy?
Yeah, with an F-16.
Come on, dude.
Wow, Jacob Steinecker. Hello. Good to see you. But Monty, Jake likes meat chicken on the rollers at 7-Eleven. He does.
I mean, hey, that's
tough to argue.
A random take, but
Oh, Big Daddy Magic. Hey, why have you sent me videos lately? Big Daddy Magic, I get so much.
Victor needs to play Superman because that'll be more realistic. Okay.
I was trying to avoid it because it was a Victor take. Let's see. Big Daddy Magic has not sent me any videos lately. Okay, here you are. He sent me a picture of him. Let me just put this up. There's Big Daddy Magic and Danny Ainge, and he always puts, I'm the one in the blue. Danny Ainge is the one in the white.
Yeah, dude, because we were so confused.
That's, I think, his point. I don't even know. Then he sent me a picture with a bunch of jazz players and Will Hardy. Okay, I got love for that. Then he sent me, okay, what here's a video.
Player.
I got you figured out, player. You didn't think Wemby would be this guy, and you took Scoot Henderson, and then this year you put everything on Cooper Flag. He was the safe fucking bet. What was he, like a 98 possibility that he's not going to be a bust? Highest.
He's going to be pretty good.
Here I am rolling the dice on AJ DeBanza.
DeBanza!
Shut up! You're not an AJ guy.
No, you're not
Shut
a BYU
up,
fan.
Dude. You
no,
are not
no,
an AJ guy,
no,
dude.
you are not a BYU fan.
No, hell no.
I ain't had that.
Hell no.
Shut the fuck up,
After
Donnie.
all the terrible things you said about BYU people.
Dude.
Come on.
BYU people are terrible, player.
Mape said the videos were awesome. Dilly. I thought
See,
so.
I agree.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious, too. We loved this. It's a throwback to the showgram at the Mav days. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. I will start making good movies again. You should.
Movies.
60 seconds will do. I agree. I was shocked when you gave us 3 minutes. Way too long. Loner phone. James, you're awesome. You're awesome. Take the L. It's
Do you know
okay.
why? Do you know
Take
why?
the L.
Do you know why I did 3 minutes?
Because you're dumb?
No,
Okay.
not because I'm dumb, but thanks. I did 3 minutes. I did 3 minutes because I knew that would cancel out some people. I knew there would be people who couldn't land the plane, couldn't get the hell out of the take, that we would have to pull down. And that's exactly what happened, which is why you got yourself filtered out.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's fair. Fair. San Diego State Aztec Glenn. And kettle corn is not movie theater popcorn.
Hell no.
It's not. But I'll tell you what, I had some of that caramel corn cheddar mix.
Stop.
Was
Dude.
so good. Oh my God. You guys, I got new fucking Hokas.
When did you get new Hokas?
So I'm walking around Chicago, and we walked all over Chicago. And at one point, my feet just were tired. Like, I just couldn't do it. And so there happened to be a Hoka store on Michigan Avenue. We walked in there. I got some Bondis. Forget it. I was wearing the wrong kind of shoe.
Okay, will you pull up a picture of the shoe so people know what you're talking about?
Yeah, Chaboy don't run. I don't run for anything.
You're not Aaron Wilson running down the alley.
No, hell no. If I can walk it, I'm happy to do it. I am not going jogging, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I was wearing a Clifton, and it turns out it is the entirely wrong shoe. If you're somebody that walks or stands,
the Clifton is the wrong shoe.
Is the wrong chicken and a
Pop-up.
biscuit. Pop-up got me.
Got him.
It's the wrong shoe.
Okay.
It turns out that this Bondi 9 from Hoka is
Dude,
the
price,
shoe.
though.
It's the well, and I paid more than that. It's the shoe that police wear. It's the shoe that like doctors and nurses in the ER. Who are you, Doug Ross? You guys don't know that reference. Here it is right here. This is the Bondi 9. And I'm telling you guys, this is the most comfortable shoe I've ever owned.
So just to recap, your feet hurt from walking so
Yeah,
much.
we were walking all over the place, and I couldn't figure out why my feet were tired.
Because you were wearing your Hokas.
Yeah, I was wearing my Cliftons.
Okay.
And so I went in, and she's like, oh, you're wearing the wrong shoe. These are going to make you walk on the balls of your feet. They're meant for running arc. You want to wear this shoe. Dude, I put this Bondi shoe on. Forget it. It is the most comfortable shoe to walk or stand in. And I had been standing at Wrigley Field because I went early because season ticket holders get in early in the bleachers. And so I'd been standing for like an hour and a half at one point. My feet were killing me. I put on those shoes, dude, no problems. It was amazing. I meant to tell you guys that. It's the best shoe ever. Best shoe ever.
Yeah.
Interstellar in theaters. Oh my God.
Same, like Interstellar original idea, right? Like, again, very different, very original, big time cast. Like, you know.
Yeah. Steinecker says, who's going to donate another membership to me? We had 70 memberships donated today. Toot says, like the videos, more entries, but far shorter. Totally agree.
Agreed.
Have not had a better Superman than the Christopher Reeves. No, we haven't. Gladiator lost me with the sharks in the Coliseum. Kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Big Blue Horses Dune movies were good. Book was much better. My wife said the same thing. If you can make it through, I agree.
Yeah, but see, I have to say, I don't think it's fair to compare books to movies, dude. Like,
I agree.
I just think there's so much more runway with a book. Like,
yeah. Aaron Wilson for $2. Minute and a half, Monty. Be reasonable. 60 seconds.
60 seconds, bro.
That's all you get.
See, because here's the deal. Now that we've rolled it out, now the second version needs to be a little bit more exclusive, right? 60 seconds, get in, get out, pack a punch, like do your thing and be done. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Shorty says, best shoe that medical doctors and RN wear. Love it. If you walk or stand, that's almost everyone, dude. I'm telling you, because in Chicago, I did between 10,000 and 15,000 steps. We walked, I think the most I walked one day was 5-something miles.
Dude, that's wild.
But you don't even realize you're doing it. So Hoka never make shoes in my size. They don't make shoes for Ronald McDonald size. They carry up to a size 16 at the Hoka store. I wear a size 15. So they did great. My logo was fire next to that Hoka. Okay. With direct-to-consumer services, we have access to all the movies ever made. Hard for Hollywood to beat that lineup. I agree. Totally agree. As always, awesome show, boys. Appreciate you. Next Thursday, we'll do another video contest. That ought to be entertaining. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate the advocates at theadvocates.com. Get into an accident, get bit by a dog, get hurt at work, get in a car wreck, theadvocates.com 24/7, 365. It won't cost you time. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.